Chapter 1747. Hearing Yishang's words, Lu Qi, who had taken a few steps, stopped and turned to look at Yishang. "You're also afraid of being beaten up?" "Of course I am. Why wouldn't I be afraid? Those who come to negotiate are all experts. If I don't agree with them, they'll beat me to death." Night Sorrow glanced at Lu Qi and said, "Don't worry, I'll be with you tomorrow. Don't worry and speak boldly. If they dare to beat you, well, I'll beat them to death first." Lu Qi nodded to Night Sorrow and left. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and smiled. At this moment, Night Sorrow was the happy Night Sorrow. Looking around the small courtyard, Night Sorrow felt that it was not bad. It was much better than the dungeon. It was very simple. After resting for a night, Night Sorrow strolled around the heavenly desolate city. When the city's patrol saw Night Sorrow, they would make way for him and even take a detour. As for Night Sorrow's arrangement, the Grand Elder had officially informed the heavenly desolate city. Therefore, all the members of the heavenly desolate city knew about it. In addition, in the hearts of the members of the heavenly desolate city, Night Sorrow was a mad dog. He was the first person to call the human clan's patriarch old bastards. If they provoked Night Sorrow and were bitten by Night Sorrow, they would have no way to redress their grievances. While Night Sorrow was puzzled, Lu Qi and Lin Piaomiao arrived. They were followed by Pu Luo, who was very sunny. "Night Sorrow, this is Patriarch Pu Luo." Lin Piaomiao introduced Pu Luo to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow looked at Pu Luo. "Don't look at me like that. It scares me. You were exiled. When something happened to you, I was sleeping at home. I'm not the old bastard you're talking about." Pu Luo explained when he saw Yishang's expression. "Master Pu Luo, you're thinking too much." Night Sorrow was rude before. Night Sorrow held Pu Luo and cupped his hands. "Don't call me master. I don't dare to act like a big shot in front of the Merit Emperor. Just call me Pu Luo." Pu Luo said with a smile. "Patriarch Pu Luo. He's usually not in the heavenly desolate city. He only comes when there's a battle. This time, he's accompanying you to negotiate." Lu Qi said. "Many thanks to the two elders. The other party didn't come, right?" Yishang understood that Pu Luo and Lu Qi had come to cheer him on. "Well, let's go. Lu." They arrived at the gate of the heavenly wasteland city. "Why are you picking him up? You're too polite to him." Night Sorrow didn't plan to do that. "Night Sorrow, I'm the Grand Elder of the Devil Wing clan, Mo Lu. I have something to discuss with you. Will you let me into the city first?" Mo Lu shouted at Night Sorrow, who was standing on top of the city gate. "If you want to talk, sure. You have to bring a gift when you visit. If you don't meet me, it means that you're not sincere. If you're not sincere, I won't talk with you. Also, I'm busy. I need to refine pills and refine tools to earn some cultivation resources. My life isn't good." Night Sorrow shouted at Mo Lu. Mo Lu was stunned. Lu Qi and Pu Luo were also surprised. They hadn't even talked yet, but Yi Shiwen was already asking for resources. "So you didn't bring a gift? Let's talk next time. Sect Elder Qi, Sect Elder Pu Luo, Night Sorrow thanks you two for your care. Let's go back. Night Sorrow will treat you two to tea." Seeing that Mo Lu didn't say anything, Night Sorrow changed the topic. He wanted to put some pressure on Mo Lu. "Then tell me, what kind of gift do you want?" Mo Lu was furious, but for Mo Tianji's body, he had to accept it. "The gift is sincerity. It's not good to say it out loud. You have to see what kind of sincerity you can bring." Night Sorrow flew down the city gate tower after saying that. After Night Sorrow left, Lu Qi and Pu Luo looked at each other and followed Lin Piaomiao down the city gate tower. They went to Night Sorrow's side. "Night Sorrow, are we just going to leave him there?" Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow and asked. "Ignore him. If he doesn't show some sincerity, what am I going to talk to him about?" Night Sorrow said. Lu Qi and Pu Luo didn't say anything. Night Sorrow was a scammer. If the Demon Wing clan wanted to talk, they had to spend resources to buy the right to talk. Mo Lu looked at the empty city gate tower, flicked his sleeves, and left. If Night Sorrow didn't want to talk, there was nothing he could do. The four of them were going to Night Sorrow's yard for tea, but someone came to find Lu Qi, so Lu Qi left first. When they were not far from the yard, Night Sorrow, Pu Luo, and Lin Piaomiao met Li Zongyuan and two men in green. Li Zongyuan stood in front of Night Sorrow and looked at Night Sorrow. Have you seen the big elder of the Demon Wing clan? Have you eaten too much? You stopped me last time, and now you're stopping me again? Night Sorrow frowned. He didn't like Li Zongyuan, but he didn't get angry because Tran Heng and Lu Qi had told him that most of the human clan's elders had contributed to the human clan and were worthy of respect. I'm worried that you're a traitor, Li Zongyuan said. Elder Li, please remember the city lord's arrangement. Lin Piaomiao's face turned ugly, and her pretty face was frosty. I'm worried that he will exchange the human emperor's seal, and the city lord will be deceived by him. But I can't just ignore it, Li Zongyuan said. Who do you think you are? Night Sorrow couldn't hold back his anger because Li Zongyuan was too infuriating. Who are you? How dare you speak so rudely? I'm giving you face, one of the men in green said. This man was called Feng, and he was Li Zongyuan's disciple. Do I need you to give me face? Go away. Night Sorrow glared at Feng. He couldn't stand people who were eager to flatter him. You don't respect the elder. You don't want face. Naturally, others won't give you face, Feng said sternly. I don't like to talk to you, and you're still so enthusiastic. Go away. This has nothing to do with you. Night Sorrow's anger rose. Go away. This has nothing to do with you, Pu Luo said. He couldn't stand it anymore because this guy was a dog threatening to bully others. Elder, he's too rude and uneducated. Feng bowed to Pu Luo. Who's uneducated? Who are you to speak here? Lin Piaomiao was angry. Night Sorrow was someone she valued, but Feng called him uneducated. How could she accept it? While Lin Piaomiao was talking, Night Sorrow took 2 steps forward and stood in front of Feng. You said I'm uneducated? Feng straightened his body and glared at Night Sorrow. I'm too lazy to scold you. For people like you, I have to knock out all your teeth. As Night Sorrow spoke, his domain suddenly erupted and pressed out. Then he grabbed the golden human emperor's seal in his hand. At this moment, other than the part that Night Sorrow grabbed, the human emperor's seal was like a big brick. Night Sorrow took a step back and dodged Li Zongyuan. Then he swung his right hand and the golden human emperor's seal hit the back of Feng's head like a brick. He fainted. Feng's head was filled with stars and his body fell forward. At this moment, Night Sorrow threw the human emperor's seal to his left hand. After his left hand caught it, he wrapped it around Feng's face, especially his mouth. Chapter 1748. Blood splattered all over the place. Night Sorrow had flattened Maple's face and knocked out all his teeth. $3 original H starter. Maple was still in a daze as he fell to the ground. His head was filled with stars. Night Sorrow raised the human emperor's seal and kicked him. You want to talk to me about manners? I'll teach you a lesson first. Cheap mouth. I'll pull out all your teeth. After a while, Maple's body went limp. Many of his bones were broken by Night Sorrow's kicks. However, Pu Luo held on to Night Sorrow. If he continued to beat him, Maple's bones would all be broken. F***CKU. You think you don't have a temper just because you're the Merit Emperor? Night Sorrow bent down and hit Maple's face with the brick again. Then, he kept the human emperor's seal and clapped his hands. Elder Li, what did you say just now? I didn't hear it clearly. Let's talk again. Li Zongyuan's face turned green as he looked at Maple, who was no longer human. He pointed at Night Sorrow and was speechless. Lin Piaomiao stood between him and Night Sorrow. Pu Luo also rolled up his sleeves. Li Zongyuan was sure that he wouldn't be able to gain anything by fighting. You Shui, take your senior brother away. Li Zongyuan said angrily to the other man in green. Remember this. I'm not done with you. Yu Shui looked at Night Sorrow with murderous intent. What a domineering name. Rain shoes, water shoes would be better. You want to bite me? If you dare to say another word, you'll end up like that dog. I can play with you slowly. Night Sorrow stared at Rain Shoes. The human emperor's seal was in his hand again. Let's go. Li Zongyuan didn't want to stay any longer. His old face was on the ground. Seeing Li Zongyuan leave with his men, Night Sorrow kept the human emperor's seal and looked at Lin Piaomiao. Sister Xin Er, was I too rude just now? No, it's good. That bastard needs to be taught a lesson. Lin Piaomiao smiled. That's right. I also think it's very good. Just do what you need to do. Blindly enduring will only give others something to brag about. Your 2 moves just now were simply too satisfying. I've decided that when I go back, I'll refine a brick just like yours. In the future, I'll use it to slap faces. Pu Luo was very interested in the brick in Yi Shang's hand. Elder Pu Luo is also a kindred spirit, Yi Shang said with a smile. Slap. Pu Luo shook his head, searching for the feeling when Yi Shang hit his face with the brick just now. Elder Pu Li, you're being led astray by Yi Shang, Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. I'm not being a bad influence. In fact, I'm that kind of person too. Some people can't be spoiled. Night Sorrow, that's Yu Shui you said? He wanted to kill you. Pu Luo said. I've found out where he lives. I'll go find him tonight. After cultivating the body of merit, I'll be able to sense who has ill intentions towards me. I'll teach him a lesson. Night Sorrow said. I'm not going to drink tea with you. I'll go back and make a divine weapon. I'll go with you tonight. If that Li Zongyuan is shameless, I'll slap him in the face. Pu Luo waved his hand at Night Sorrow and left hurriedly to make his favorite divine weapon, the brick. Sister Xin Er, what's up with Elder Pu Luo? Night Sorrow was puzzled. He's a genius of his generation. 600 years of heavenly monarch and 3,000 years of emperor. He's carefree. Do you know why he's not in Tianhuang City? He said that he doesn't want to see those old faces. He also doesn't want to put on airs as a law enforcement elder. Lin Piaomiao said. This person is interesting. Tianhuang City is fine. If there's someone shameless, I'll slap him in the face. Tonight, I'll slap that rain shoe. Night Sorrow said. I'll keep a lookout. If Elder Pu Luo goes, Li Zongyuan will deal with him. If he doesn't, Sister Xin Er will do it for you. Lin Piaomiao said with a smile. Then it's settled. Night Sorrow nodded. Okay, let's go together. Lin Piaomiao was very happy. She was most worried that this unfair incident would affect Night Sorrow's state of mind and character. Now, it seemed that there was no problem with Night Sorrow. Lin Piaomiao, what are you doing? A man in black with a golden crown entered Night Sorrow's courtyard. Great Demon King, why are you here? Lin Piaomiao looked at the man in black and asked. I'm here to play. I heard that Night Sorrow smashed someone's face. So, I came to take a look. The man in black found a seat and sat down. He was the famous Great Demon King, Discipline of the Celestial Realm. Sister Xin Er, is it so rare to smash someone's face? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and asked. It is rare. No one has done it before and no one dares to do it. Lin Piaomiao nodded. What do you mean no one dares to do it? I just didn't think that it could be done. I can try it in the future. If you're shameless, I won't give you any face. Great Demon King looked at Lin Piaomiao and said, Tianhuang City is too oppressive. There's no excitement. If we need excitement, let's start with smashing faces. Night Sorrow took out a jar of wine and poured it for Great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao. Great Demon King, Night Sorrow has just arrived in Tianhuang City. Some of the elders are against him. So, when he needs help, you can't just watch. You have to help him. Lin Piaomiao looked at Discipline of Discipline and said, That's easy. Night Sorrow, I've seen your battle in the crystal ball. It's very moving. If you want to bully Emperor and Emperor, I'll go with you. If it's Emperor, then forget it. I can't afford to lose that face. Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and said, That'll do. Lin Piaomiao nodded. That's nothing. What's with that group of people now? You can't do it and you can't bear to see others do it. All you do is blabber. It's annoying. Discipline of Demon King took the wine bowl and drank it. After drinking a jar of wine, Great Demon King didn't leave. Great Demon King, what's up with you? Don't you have anything to do? Lin Piaomiao asked. I knew you were going to chase them away. I heard it when I came. You guys are planning to do something bad. I'm more interested in that. Discipline of Demon King said. Lin Piaomiao didn't say anything. Obviously, she couldn't chase Discipline of Demon King away now. At this time, Pu Luo came to Night Sorrow's courtyard with a golden brick in his hand. Night Sorrow, I have to say, this thing feels pretty good. After speaking, Pu Luo grabbed the brick with his right hand and slapped it on the back of his head. Then, he slapped his face from bottom to top. Elder Pu Luo, what's that? Discipline of Demon King looked at the golden brick in Pu Luo's hand and asked. It's a face-slapping artifact. What does it have to do with you? Pu Luo grabbed the golden brick with his right hand and put it into his storage ring. The three of you are definitely up to no good. How can I not punish you? Pu Luo, we fought side by side. Can you help me get one? As a reward, we'll go slap whoever's face you want us to slap. The one who retreats is not a man. Discipline of Demon King said. Night Sorrow, why don't we bring him along? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow and asked. He didn't have much contact with Discipline of Demon King, but they had fought together against the Demon Wing clan. They were still friends. Chapter 1749. So Bolt, take it with you. But let's make this clear first. If things get out of hand, you'll have to clean up your own mess, said Night Sorrow. What's the big deal? You're the virtuous emperor. You won't do anything immoral, said the great Demon King. Why can't I do anything immoral? It depends on who you're doing it to. Night Sorrow corrected the great Demon King. Pu Luo, you're the Emperor Blacksmith. Hurry up. I want the one you just took. The great Demon King began to urge Pu Luo. Pu Luo smiled. He waved his right hand and threw out a spatial treasure. Then he disappeared. He entered the spatial treasure and accelerated the refinement process. In just a moment, Pu Luo came out with a big golden brick in his hand. So fast? Elder Pu Luo, are you kidding me? The great Demon King was suspicious. This thing only needs hardness. It doesn't need anything else. It just needs to be harder than a person's head. Pu Luo threw the brick to the disciplined great Demon King. They drank a pot of tea. When night fell, Night Sorrow set off. Pu Luo, the great Demon King, and Lin Piaomiao followed behind Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow touched Rain Shu's courtyard. Then he released his domain. He wasn't here to fight. He was here to suppress Rain Shu. Therefore, he didn't want to give him a chance to struggle or fight. Rain Shu was a 5-star sovereign emperor, but he wasn't afraid. He wanted to give it a try. The virtuous emperor's level 4 domain enveloped Rain Shu's courtyard. Rain Shu wasn't prepared at all. This was Tianhuang City. There would be an enemy invasion and there would be a battle alarm. Moreover, he was taking care of Maple. Therefore, Night Sorrow's domain suppressed him. Yi Shan released his domain and sent out his soul-extinguishing slash. Under Skrek's genuine LQ song, Hair 1 Rain Shu's first reaction was to defend when he saw Night Sorrow and the 2 purple crescent blades slashing towards him. Night Sorrow's shadow body was activated as Rain Shu's unleashed his soul power. Kanyang then used the Void Step and appeared behind Rain Shu's. The Golden Human Emperor's seal was aimed at the back of Rain Shu's head. F***. Rain Shu's wanted to curse, but he only managed to utter 2 words before his head was filled with stars. That was because the shining human emperor's seal in Night Sorrow's hand was firmly placed on the back of his head. When Rain Shu's leaned forward, Night Sorrow spun his body and the human emperor's seal covered Rain Shu's face from bottom to top. Blood, flesh, and teeth flew everywhere. A large seal flattened Rain Shu's face. You lie down too. Night Sorrow swung his hand again, shattering Maple's bones. He hadn't recovered yet, and his face was full of shock. You wanted to kill me, so I didn't hit you unjustly. Night Sorrow bent down and smacked him twice, knocking him out completely. Shall we kill Li Zongyuan? Disciplined Demon King asked Pu Luo. Let's do it. We'll split the loot equally. Pu Luo nodded because they saw Night Sorrow taking Rain Shu's and Maple's storage ring. After speaking, Pu Luo and Great Demon King disappeared in a flash. They went to another courtyard, which was Li Zongyuan's territory. Night Sorrow tidied up a bit and walked out of Rain Shu's courtyard. Sister Shen Air, I thought we would have to fight a tough battle, but they weren't vigilant at all and were knocked down just like that. Without vigilance, they are trash who have never experienced a life-and-death battle. They have high cultivation but low ability, Lin Xian'er said while looking at the courtyard. Where are the other two? Night Sorrow asked. Those two daring and reckless people probably went to cause trouble, Lin Xian'er said. Other than Pu Luo and the Great Demon King, no one else had the idea of slapping a brick on the heads of the human race's patriarchs and emperor-level cultivators. In just a moment, Pu Luo and Great Demon King came back. Great Demon King was holding a piece of armor in his hand. Go back quickly and erase the imprint. That old thing is going to wake up soon. Great Demon King shouted and then disappeared in a flash. Pu Luo flashed and chased after him. What's going on? That's Li Zongyuan's armor. They took it off? Lin Piaomiao was puzzled. She thought there would be a big battle. After all, Li Zongyuan was an emperor. When Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao returned to the courtyard, Great Demon King and Pu Luo were refining things. One was refining the armor, the other was refining the storage ring. Done! Great Demon King and Pu Luo opened their eyes one after the other. At this moment, a shocking roar came from afar. It's too late to wake up now. Pu Luo, hurry up and see if there's anything good. Return the broken storage ring to him later, Great Demon King said to Pu Luo. Then, Pu Luo threw things into the courtyard. They were all found in the storage ring. There's a lot of Holy Spirit stones and materials. You three divide them. I only want this armor. Great Demon King waved his arm and divided the resources on the ground into 3 piles. We can't take this. Night Sorrow shook his head. Hurry up and take it. You don't have to be the scapegoat. Hurry up, he's coming. Pu Luo took his share and then urged Night Sorrow and Datura. Night Sorrow and Datura looked at each other and then took it. Great Demon King took out a jar of wine and poured 4 bowls. Divided the loot. Let's wait for the troublemaker to come. At this moment, the door of the courtyard was kicked open. Li Zongyuan came in with disheveled hair. He looked miserable. There was a big bump on the back of his head. There was a big red and shiny bump on his forehead. There were no teeth in his mouth. Pu Luo, Great Demon King, are you crazy? Hurry up and give me my storage ring and armor. Li Zongyuan's mouth was leaking air, so it was hard for him to speak. This broken ring is for you. Pu Luo threw the empty storage ring to Li Zongyuan. Armor? Li Zongyuan looked at Great Demon King. What armor? Li Zongyuan, are you thinking too much? I don't know. Great Demon King took the armor and put it on. I'll go find the Grand Elder and ask for an explanation. Li Zongyuan pointed at Great Demon King and turned to leave. You don't even know that your storage ring has lost its mark. You just left like that? Great Demon King muttered as he watched Li Zongyuan leave. Just as Great Demon King finished speaking, a roar came again. Night Sorrow, I'll kill you. What does this have to do with me? Yi Xiu opened and closed his mouth twice before saying this. He thought that Great Demon King and Pu Luo were the ones who asked for help. Lin Xian'er said. It doesn't matter. His teeth are gone. How can he bite me? But I'm very puzzled. I didn't hear any fighting just now. How did you succeed? Night Sorrow asked. We went. Pu Luo said he had something to discuss. Li Zongyuan got up to make tea. Pu Luo hugged him and I gave him a hard blow from behind. But the blow on his forehead and the teeth in his mouth were all done by Pu Luo, Great Demon King said as he waved the brick. Chapter 1750. In the small space, the Grand Elder's face turned blue when he heard Li Zongyuan's angry complaint. This had never happened before. Okay, you go back first. I'll ask them later. The Grand Elder waved his hand at Li Zongyuan. Grand Elder, Night Sorrow is the one behind all this. Li Zongyuan emphasized again before leaving. After Li Zongyuan left, the Grand Elder thought for a while and smiled. He felt that Night Sorrow was a capable person. Pu Luo was not someone who would easily communicate with others. There were not many human elders who could talk to him. The reason why he could get along with Night Sorrow was because of Night Sorrow's charisma. The Great Demon King was the same. He was a person who would fight whenever there was a disagreement. Therefore, he also got along with Night Sorrow. After closing his eyes and meditating for a while, the Grand Elder left and walked towards Night Sorrow's courtyard. Night Sorrow, pack up quickly. The Grand Elder is here. Pu Luo shouted at Night Sorrow because Night Sorrow was sorting out the maple leaves, rain shoes, and the resources that had just been distributed. As soon as Night Sorrow put them away, the Grand Elder walked in with the coiling dragon spear. What a great harvest! Grand Elder, nice to meet you. Night Sorrow stood up and saluted. Pu Luo, the Great Demon King, and Lin Piaomiao also stood up and saluted. It's good that you guys are together. It's very harmonious. This is what our Tianhuang city needs. The Grand Elder sat down and said, Grand Elder, did someone complain to you? Pu Luo looked at the Grand Elder and asked, So be it. Are you guys afraid? Besides, Enforcer Elderly said that Yi Shan was exiled, so there must be a reason for him to be exiled. So there must be a reason why he was robbed. He didn't rob anyone else, right? Said the Great Elder with a smile. The Grand Elder knows right from wrong. Pu Luo exhaled. However, all of you should take it easy. One Night Sorrow is enough to give me a headache, and all of you still want to blindly kick up a fuss? Night Sorrow did a good job. Next time, if you want to rob someone, let me know first. I won't stop you, but you should be prepared. It's a sin to lose your teeth at such an old age. The Grand Elder glared at Pu Luo. He shook his head at Night Sorrow and left. That's it? Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and Pu Luo in surprise, then looked at Lin Piaomiao. It's done. I guess the Grand Elder didn't punish us for Night Sorrow's sake. Pu Luo nodded. Night Sorrow, if you want to teach someone a lesson, just call us. Pu Luo, you won't leave the Heavenly Wasteland City anytime soon, right? I can't leave either, the Great Demon King said. After a while, Pu Luo and Great Demon King left, leaving only Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao. I'll go tidy up a room. Lin Xian'er's face was a little red. Sister Xian'er, you're staying here? Night Sorrow was stunned. Nonsense. If I don't stay here, what if Li Zongyuan comes to take revenge on you? Lin Piaomiao glanced at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow smiled. He knew that Lin Piaomiao was doing this for his own good. You're too daring. However, it's very satisfying. Some people have to be dealt with. Do you have a plan for the negotiation? After tidying up the room, Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Not much. It's just a meeting gift. No matter how much resources you give, I won't give you Mo Tianji's body either, Night Sorrow said. I didn't know that you were so evil, Lin Piaomiao said to Night Sorrow with a smile. Night Sorrow also smiled. Actually, he didn't think of himself as a good person. He had killed many people over the years. However, he had a clear conscience. They were all people who deserved to be killed. In the middle of the courtyard was the hall. Night Sorrow was in the room on the right. He placed a praying mat and sat quietly. Lin Xian'er placed a reclining chair in the room on the left and rested on it. After meditating for a while, Night Sorrow woke up. Because the night in Tianhuang City was very cold and the surroundings were filled with nirvana tide, the temperature was a little low. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow took a blanket from the room and gently walked over, covering Lin Xian'er who was lying on the reclining chair. You're awake. Lin Piaomiao opened her eyes. More $1 new G most, unspecified currency fast, plus, /. I didn't sleep. I'm tidying up what I've learned in the past. Night Sorrow nodded. You have a lot of room for improvement now. I can't. When my original body cultivates, sometimes I won't have any gains for a long time, let alone my doppelgangers. Doppelgangers sleep when they need to, Lin Piaomiao said. Maybe it's because I haven't cultivated for long and there are too many things that I need to tidy up. So even with 3 doppelgangers, I don't have enough time, Night Sorrow said. You're at the stage where you're building your foundation. It's also the stage where you have the most inspiration. Don't be anxious. Take it one step at a time and maintain this momentum. Although it's difficult, it can be done with time. It's rare to have a fighting strength that far surpasses your realm. This is the benchmark to judge whether a cultivator is outstanding or not, Lin Piaomiao said. I understand. Thank you, Sister Xian'er, for taking care of me during this period of time, Night Sorrow said. You're only saying thank you to me? Lin Piaomiao sat up straight. It's not like that. Let's talk about it after you calm down, okay? Night Sorrow was a little unnatural. He knew about Lin Piaomiao's situation. He also knew that Lin Piaomiao treated him this way because she had feelings for him. I thought you were going to reject me. Lin Piaomiao lay down again. Yeah, I didn't. Night Sorrow shook his head. He took out a robe and covered Lin Piaomiao's body. I don't know where my feelings come from, but I'm deeply in love. After Lin Piaomiao finished speaking, she pulled the blanket over her face. Her words were her feelings. Actually, it was also a confession. I got it. Night Sorrow patted Lin Piaomiao's hand and returned to the main hall. When he heard Lin Piaomiao's words, his heart trembled. Because if she wasn't deeply in love, she wouldn't have said such words. What do you know? Lin Piaomiao pulled down the blanket and revealed her face. I know what I need to know. Sister Xian, please rest. Night Sorrow sat on the futon and meditated. However, his heart couldn't calm down. He just sat there. The next 2 days were peaceful. Li Zongyuan didn't come to find trouble with Night Sorrow. On the other hand, Pu Luo and the Great Demon King came to Night Sorrow's place to drink every day. Lu Qi also came once. When he saw Pu Luo and the Great Demon King at Night Sorrow's place, he wasn't surprised. So you guys have been fooling around together. Elderly came to find me and said that you guys were in cahoots. You guys stole his storage ring and armor, and even injured 2 of his disciples. Lu Qi said, Elder 7, what do you say? Pu Luo looked at Lu Qi and asked, Isn't that simple? Ask him to find the Grand Elder. Night Sorrow makes tea. I want the tea from Twilight Tea House. Lu Qi pointed at the teapot. I'm a little nervous seeing Elder 7. Night Sorrow said while holding the teapot. Chapter 1751. Night Sorrow didn't say anything. He only glanced at Pu Luo and the Great Demon King. Li Zongyuan was robbed and he was the scapegoat. The Grand Elder and the 7th Sect Elder believed that he was the mastermind. I'm just here to take a look. Seeing that you're living a carefree life, I'm relieved. However, be careful that one day, someone might take you down. Lu Qi reminded Yishang. He was worried that Li Zongyuan would take revenge on Yishang. Li Zongyuan was an emperor and was the leader of a faction. He had many disciples and many of them had higher cultivation than Night Sorrow. Thank you, 7th Sect Elder. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at Lu Qi. It's nothing. The elders have been talking about you for the past 2 days, saying that you're a bad influence. But I think it's passion. Otherwise, the heavenly desolate city would be like a pool of stagnant water. They weren't in the heavenly desolate city before, but now they're not leaving. Lu Qi looked at the 3 and said with a smile. After chatting for a while, Lu Qi left. He was just here to take a look. He wasn't worried about Night Sorrow causing trouble. The Grand Elder wasn't worried either. What could the Merit Emperor do? Even if he made a move, he would only hurt those who weren't virtuous enough. Night Sorrow, can we discuss something? The Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Tell me, what is it? Night Sorrow looked at the Great Demon King and asked. There is a sect elder in the desolate city. He isn't a good person. I didn't teach him a lesson in the past because I didn't want to cause a commotion. I didn't want the Grand Elder and the 7th Sect Elder to be angry. Let's go and take him down. The Great Demon King said. If I don't go, who knows if you are going to take a good or bad person? In the end, the Grand Elder and the 7th Sect Elder always come to talk to me. Night Sorrow shook his head. What do you mean by taking a good person? That's a scum. His name is Ban Sha. He's just a small sect elder who keeps shouting about banning this and banning that. Ask Pu Luo and her if I'm lying? The Great Demon King pointed at Lin Piaomiao agitatedly. Sect Elder Pu Luo, is Sister Xian for real? Yishang asked. It's true. I don't like that bastard either. However, it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. I'll do it. But what do you mean by little lousy elder? You weren't even an elder in the past, all right? Pu Luo was dissatisfied when he heard the Great Demon King scold the elders. He was also an elder, but he was just an elder of the law enforcement elder rank. Why do you mind? I'm not talking about you, the Great Demon King said. Since he's scum, let's do it. Night Sorrow nodded. The next few days were chaotic because after Li Zongyuan, 2 more human sect elders were knocked down by Night Sorrow and the other 3's black bricks. The great demon king had a bad reputation, so some people were on guard against him. However, Pu Luo had a good reputation, so no matter who he visited, everyone would receive him. While they were drinking tea, he suddenly stood up and hugged her. Then, the great demon king, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao appeared. Lin Piaomiao didn't make a move and just watched. However, Night Sorrow and Great Demon King both threw out their black bricks. Black hand. The Great Demon King's hand was very black. Those who were hit would be paralyzed for a few days. In just a few days, Night Sorrow and the other 3 had become a plague. No matter who they visited, no one would receive them. The Grand Elder was in seclusion. The 7 sect elders said that they had gained enlightenment and didn't want to see anyone. By the way, Night Sorrow, it was Xiao Jun who exiled you. Why don't I see you taking revenge on him? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow and asked. He didn't see me and we don't have any grudges. He probably exiled me because of his personality. It's not that he's a bad person. Forget it. Night Sorrow said. It's good that you think this way. Actually, I've been waiting for you these few days. If you want to hit Xiao Jun, I'll advise you. He's ruthless, but he did contribute to the human race and can admit his mistakes. You were exiled for 8 years and he's been reflecting on his mistakes, Pu Luo said. He's been reflecting on himself for 8 years. I've been hunted for 8 years. Night Sorrow still felt it was unfair. However, he didn't cause trouble for Xiao Jun because he knew what was right and wrong. No. The desolate cliff of desolation in Desolation City is an area where time accelerates. Under the influence of the tide of nirvana, time accelerates by 40 times. You were exiled for 8 years while he reflected on himself for 300 years. If you didn't come back, he would probably continue to reflect on himself, Lin Piaomiao explained to Night Sorrow. Then we're even. What's left is that Bai Chuyuan. I'll definitely kill that guy. Night Sorrow's face was filled with killing intent. He wouldn't let Bai Chuyuan and Celestial Sect off no matter what. That guy was exiled from Desolation City. Why don't we go and hit him now? If he's not in Desolation City, we'll wait for a while, Pu Luo said. That Bai Chuyuan is the same as Celestial Sect. Both of them aren't good people. If Celestial Sect hides in his small world and doesn't come out, I'll kill him when he comes out, the Great Demon King said. They were both experts on the Celestial and Demon rankings, but the difference between Celestial Sect and the Great Demon King was huge. Previously, Celestial Sect Saint Emperor was forced to self-destruct by the Great Demon King. His original body left the celestial realm and entered other realms. The Great Demon King couldn't catch him. On the new, soonest 6, just as Night Sorrow was planning to cultivate his alchemy skills, Mo Lu came to Desolation City once again. The negotiations had to continue, so this time he brought a greeting gift. Without a greeting gift, Night Sorrow didn't want to negotiate with him. This was something he couldn't do. This time, there was one more person following Night Sorrow to the city gate tower. The Great Demon King was following. May I ask if you've brought a greeting gift? Night Sorrow shouted from the top of the city gate tower. Mo Lu nodded. With a toss of his right hand, a storage ring flew to the top of the city gate tower and landed in Night Sorrow's hand. Without a soul imprint, Night Sorrow easily found out what was inside. 10 million Saint Spirit stones, some herbs and red fruits. I say, Great Elder of the Demon Wing Clan, are you kidding me? 10 million Saint Spirit stones? Is your Demon Wing Clan that poor? I spent a few million Saint Spirit stones to go to Desolation Mountain once. Why are you giving me rotten fruits? We humans don't have any fruits to eat, right? A red fruit appeared in Night Sorrow's hand. That's the Cloud Dragon fruit. It can strengthen your body. I think it suits you, so I gave you 5. That's a top-grade fruit that can only be produced once in a million years. The corner of Mo Lu's eyes twitched. What Cloud Dragon fruit? That's also a fruit. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I need sincerity. You don't have any sincerity at all. Last time, I found a woman's body in Desolation Mountain. She offered 30 million Saint Spirit stones for it. If I sold it, I wouldn't be short of 10 million Saint Spirit stones. You're giving me 10 million Saint Spirit stones as a greeting gift? Are you kidding me? Yes, I'm poor and have no resources, but I have high tastes. Go back and think about it. If we want to negotiate, we need to show sincerity. 5 monarchs of your Demon Wing clan tried to kill me, but I came out to negotiate with you. That's my sincerity. Now it's up to you. Night Sorrow turned and walked down the city gate tower. Chapter 1752. Night Sorrow, that's a cloud dragon fruit, not a fruit, Pu Luo said excitedly when he sensed that Mo Lu had already left the city gate tower. Cloud dragon fruit? You took it as a fruit and precious materials as cabbage. The Demon-Winged clan has a big business. Let's just play with them, Night Sorrow said. Pu Luo and the Great Demon King looked at each other and turned to Night Sorrow. You're too cunning. Are you just playing with them? Do you really think I'll negotiate with them? They have so many people chasing after me. Wouldn't I be a moron if I negotiated with them? Night Sorrow said with a smile. So you're saying that you'll keep asking for gifts and not talk about business? The Great Demon King understood. It doesn't matter how many gifts they give. I won't even give them a hair if they want to take something from me. Night Sorrow nodded. Night Sorrow, what exactly did you take from him that made Mo Lu so shameless as to bring a greeting gift to negotiate? Pu Luo asked. Let's go back to the courtyard. We'll talk while drinking tea, Night Sorrow said as he looked at the patrolling soldiers. When they returned to Night Sorrow's courtyard, Night Sorrow and the other 3 were a little confused because the courtyard had been torn down. Bastard, you don't have to care about Night Sorrow. I'll find a fortune teller and find out who did it. We'll take revenge together. The Great Demon King was angry. He had been hanging out with Night Sorrow for the past few days and didn't give him any face. Our only place to stay has been raided, Night Sorrow said. Don't worry, we all have places to stay. Let's change our base. Come to my place? Pu Luo invited Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow, come to my place, Lin Piaomiao said. Okay, then let's go to Sister Xiener's place. Night Sorrow nodded. Adultery. Pu Luo pointed his thumbs at each other. Then let's go. We'll find someone to repair it later, Lin Piaomiao said to Night Sorrow and didn't answer Pu Luo. You didn't refute. It's true. The Great Demon King also looked at Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao didn't answer and went to Lin Piaomiao's courtyard in Desolate City. Lin Piaomiao's courtyard was much more picturesque than Yishang's. Warm jade was buried in the courtyard and the weather was good. After seeing the tyrannical power of Yen Wu Shuang's soul strength, Mo Tianji's strength, and Gui Zhu's trump card, Night Sorrow was now very cautious. After checking and finding no problems, Night Sorrow took out 3 cloud dragon fruits and put them in a jade box, pushing it to the Great Demon King, Pu Luo, and Lin Piaomiao. What are you doing? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow and asked. It's for everyone. Night Sorrow said as he tidied up the rest of the things. We know about your situation. You cultivate your body and it's stronger than the Demon-Winged clan. We don't specialize in body cultivation, so we don't need it. Also, you're too polite, we don't need it. The Great Demon King pushed the jade box back to Night Sorrow. Pu Luo didn't accept it and Lin Piaomiao naturally didn't accept it. Since they didn't accept it, Night Sorrow didn't force them. After all, the 3 of them were human race sect elders and wouldn't take advantage of him. Night Sorrow, what did you take from the Demon-Winged clan? They were so nervous and even wanted to talk to you with a greeting gift. Even if it was the human emperor's seal, they wouldn't do it. The Great Demon King asked. Night Sorrow exhaled. The body of one of the Demon-Winged clan's big shots is in my hands. They probably want it back. Which big shot did it belong to? Why is it still in your hands? Pu Luo asked excitedly. Mo Tianji. Night Sorrow said Mo Tianji's name. White-haired 1,000 feet Mo Tianji. She's not from the same era as us. She's a master of the 7 Emperors' tribulation. The Demon-Winged clan is anxious to get her body back. Could it be that her soul hasn't been destroyed? The Great Demon King stood up. I was exiled to Heaven Wasteland and arrived at the battlefield where she and my master fought. My master failed his tribulation and didn't have a body. He kept burning his soul power to trap her. In the end, he forced her soul out of her body and I took her body. Night Sorrow ignored the part about the human emperor's seal. If the big shot of the demon-winged clan fully recovers, not many humans can stop her. Maybe only the city lord can. Night Sorrow, this is a big deal. You can't joke about it. Why don't you leave it to the city lord? What if Mo Tianji uses some method to kill you? You won't be able to stop her. Pu Luo's face was serious. Yes, it's okay for us humans to fight among ourselves. Mo Tianji's body is too important. You can't lose it. I hope you can consider it carefully. The great demon king also spoke. This was the big picture. No matter how much they followed Night Sorrow, it would affect the entire human race. Pu Luo and the great demon king had a balance in their hearts. I'm not a selfish person, but I don't trust the elders of Heaven Wasteland City. I've asked an expert to seal the body and suppress it in a small world. There's no problem with its safety. Night Sorrow said. Elder Pu Luo, great demon king, Night Sorrow is the realm lord in that world. The teleportation formation is an emperor level 1. Moreover, the teleportation crystal has already recognized Night Sorrow as its master. If Night Sorrow doesn't release it, cultivators above the emperor level can't enter. Lin Piaomiao said. Under such circumstances, others can't break in. But will Mo Tianji's body have a backup plan? Once something happens, Night Sorrow's nest will be turned upside down. Pu Luo's face was full of worry. I've asked Senior Tran Hung to check the body and make sure there's no backup plan. Also, I've placed a seal on it. So it's safe. Night Sorrow said. A seal placed by Tran Hung, the author of the Celestial and Demon List, there's no problem. The great demon king said. Well, then you don't have to worry. You have the Demon Wing clan's weakness, so they have to take the bait or give up when they can't see any hope. Continue to slander them. Pu Luo said. You have the lifeline of the Demon-Winged clan in your hands. Unless they give up on Mo Tianji, they will be restrained by you. No wonder so many Demon-Winged clans stopped you when you came back. You've broken their sky. The great demon king said with a smile. Don't laugh. Do you know any divination masters who can help me divine just who it was that tore down my monastery? I've been slapped in the face. Even if I can't retaliate, I should at least know who it was, said Yishan. Then I'll inform the divination masters to come over immediately. The great demon king said. Chapter 1753. Pu Luo left as soon as he finished speaking. He went to find Elder Zhai Xing to arrange the divination. At this moment, in one of the 5 towers, a few elders were sitting together. Li Zongyuan was one of them, as well as the elders who were beaten up by Night Sorrow's group. We shouldn't have smashed that bastard's place. This way, he would be prepared. Li Zongyuan's face was full of anger. Just now, he brought a few elders to find Night Sorrow, but they didn't see him. Li Zongyuan brought the 3 elders who were beaten up by Night Sorrow's group to Night Sorrow's side yard. He planned to let the other 3 hold back Pu Luo, the great demon king, and Lin Piaomiao while he attacked Night Sorrow. Without seeing him, they tore down Night Sorrow's side yard. Then they met Lu Qi. Seeing that Lu Qi's face wasn't looking good, they retreated. They were worried that if they continued, they would anger Lu Qi. 7th Elder said a few days ago that he was in seclusion to comprehend something. We tore down Night Sorrow's side yard and he appeared. Is this a coincidence? We tore down Night Sorrow's side yard. Now, it's useless to complain to the Grand Elder and 7th Elder. An elder in a green robe said. His name was Zhu Chao. Night Sorrow, Pu Luo, and the great demon king hit him twice with a brick. His storage ring was also taken away. We tore down Night Sorrow's side yard. It's the same as attacking him. It's useless to complain to the Grand Elder and the law enforcement elders. We can only vent our anger on ourselves. Find a chance to teach him a lesson. Even if the city lord punishes us, it's another matter. He provoked us first. Li Zongyuan said. He has a body of merit and is recognized by the heavenly Tao. But we are elders of the human race. We also represent the human Tao. If he is arrogant, then just kill him. We stand on the same side. The great demon king can't do anything to us. Pu Luo shouldn't be that crazy. Zhu Chao said. The hateful one is that Xiao Jun. After facing the wall and reflecting on his mistakes for 300 years, he's tolerating it now and doesn't say anything. When we went to see him, he still ignored us, Li Zongyuan said angrily. Let's not bother about him for now. If that bastard has the ability to continue causing trouble and offending people, then it'll be easier for us to find someone to deal with him, Zhu Chao said. The bastard he was referring to was Night Sorrow. At this moment, Pu Luo brought a clairvoyant to Lin Piaomiao's residence. Then, they went to the courtyard where Night Sorrow had been destroyed. Then, the divination master began his divination. It only took half a day for the divination to come out. When the scene ended, Pu Luo took out a storage ring and handed it to the fortune teller. Thank you for your hard work. Elder Pu Luo, you're too polite. It's just a day's work. It won't consume much energy. There's no need for that, the fortune teller said. Not much, just a few thousand Saint Spirit stones. Take it as me buying you some good wine. Pu Luo smiled at the fortune teller. After the fortune teller left, Pu Luo took out a golden brick and clapped his hands. Now, let's make a plan. Let's see which one to take down first. We have to take it back. We can say that we've offended these people. Night Sorrow is the scapegoat. But they're all together. It'll be a little difficult to take them down quietly, the great demon king said. No hurry. Let's wait until nighttime. Are those old men still together at night? Night Sorrow said. All right. This matter can't be delayed overnight. Otherwise, they'll think that we're cowards. We'll have to fight them, the great demon king said. At this moment, Elder Spiritual Tree and Gucci arrived. Greetings, Elder Pu Luo. What's going on here? Elder Spiritual Tree was furious. He had been cultivating pills all this time, so he didn't know what was going on outside. Greetings, Elder Spiritual Tree. I've offended someone and they've raided my house, Night Sorrow said. Preposterous. What's going on? I want to see the disciplined sect elder. The Spirit Tree sect elder's face was filled with anger. He greatly admired Yishan. Elder, don't be angry. It's nothing. Elder, what's the matter? Night Sorrow admired Elder Spiritual Tree very much. Nothing much. Your problem has been dealt with. No one should target you anymore. Although I'm not from the human race, I'm willing to see the 100 Races Alliance prosper. Seeing that your alchemy skills are lacking, I've decided to give this to you. Elder Spiritual Tree handed Night Sorrow a book. Elder, is this appropriate? Night Sorrow looked at Elder Spiritual Tree in surprise. It's appropriate. The human race and the Spiritual Tree race have been allies for countless years and will remain so in the future. Hence, helping a young human race is nothing. It's also good karma. Elder Spiritual Tree nodded at Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow, keep it. The Spiritual Tree race is filled with love, friendliness, and tolerance. The human race also treats the Spiritual Tree race's matters as their own. When you have the ability, take care of the Spiritual Tree race more. Pu Luo said. Elder Pu Luo is right. Tolerance can be said to be a state of mind and also a virtue. I'm very willing to help young people. If you have any problems, you can also look for me. Elder Spiritual Tree cupped his hands at Pu Luo and said to Night Sorrow. Thank you, Elder Spiritual Tree. Elder Gu, what's the matter? Night Sorrow bowed to Elder Spiritual Tree before looking at Gucci. Nothing much. I'm just accompanying Elder Spiritual Tree to see you. It turns out that I also have a refining technique to pass on to you. However, Unparalleled Sword Emperor is not only unparalleled in combat strength, but also a master in refining techniques. I won't cause you trouble and make you confused. Gucci said. After Elder Spiritual Tree and Gucci left, Night Sorrow and the rest were still looking at the dilapidated courtyard. Night Sorrow, you've profited. Elder Spiritual Tree's refining technique, if he were to say he's second, no one would dare to say they're first. The Spiritual Tree race has a natural understanding of medicinal herbs, so their refining technique is unparalleled in the world. Lin Piaomiao said. Elder Spiritual Tree is indeed filled with love and friendliness. Night Sorrow nodded. As night fell, The outside of Tianhuang City was filled with towering waves. However, the inside of the city was very quiet. Only the footsteps of the patrolling soldiers could be heard. Night Sorrow and the rest left Lin Piaomiao's residence and went to the residences of their targets. After finding 2 empty residences, Pu Luo found a few people in Li Zongyuan's residence. Pu Luo's soul power was very strong. He could detect the other party, but they weren't alert. They are indeed together. However, one of them isn't here. What's his name again? The one called Yu Chu isn't here. Let's go and fight him again. Pu Luo looked at the few of them and asked. They are alert. If we force them, it will cause a huge commotion. We have to think of a way to make it smaller. The Great Demon King said. Yu Chu's detection ability isn't much lower than ours. If we go over, he will know. We can only force it. Lin Piaomiao thought for a while and said, get close to him in the spatial turbulence. Once we get close, we'll take him down with lightning speed. The key is whether we can finish the battle quickly. Night Sorrow said. Chapter 1754. That works. Night Sorrow was surprised. Normally it wouldn't work. But that guy's guard against Li Zongyuan should be at its lowest right now. He won't sense Li Zongyuan's aura carefully. We just need a little time, Pu Luo said. Then, the 4 of them took action. The Great Demon King took out his weapon and pierced through space. Lin Piaomiao brought Night Sorrow in as well. Night Sorrow looked at the Great Demon King. The Great Demon King's domain was black rolling energy. It was the destruction domain. Lin Piaomiao's was the void domain. They were both supreme domains. But at this moment, Lin Piaomiao's voice sounded in Night Sorrow's mind. The supreme attribute is extremely difficult to comprehend. The Great Demon King is strong because he has a deep understanding of the destruction attribute. But he wasn't born with it. Just like me, he can't be perfect. Look at the FC version of chapter $N up. Night Sorrow didn't say anything. But he understood that his perfect attribute was the foundation. It was an incredible advantage. When they arrived near Yu Chu's mansion, Night Sorrow and the other 2 hid in the space turbulence and waited. At this moment, Pu Luo also arrived. He used to walk confidently, but now he had his hands behind his back, looking old-fashioned. Seeing Li Zongyuan appear, Yu Chu stood up to welcome him. Li Zongyuan was currently the leader of their group. When Yu Chu clasped his hands to greet him, Pu Luo gave him a bear hug. At this moment, the Great Demon King cut through space and Night Sorrow and the other 2 appeared in the real world. The Great Demon King's right hand swung the brick and hit the back of Yu Chu's head. Night Sorrow's Golden Emperor's seal went through the gap between Pu Luo's loosened arm and hit Yu Chu's face. Yu Chu's face was instantly distorted and flattened. Yu Chu's body went limp. No matter how high one's cultivation was, the head was always the weakest part. The violent vibration would make anyone faint. Who asked you to burn my house? The moment Yu Chu fell, Lin Piaomiao lifted her skirt and stomped on Yu Chu's face a few times with her boots. Your house, that's right. Try this? Pu Luo took out his golden brick and handed it to Lin Piaomiao. Glancing at Pu Luo, Lin Piaomiao took the brick from Pu Luo. She bent down and slapped Yu Chu's face twice. Then, she stood up and kicked him again. All right, Sister Xian, don't do this. It's too rough. Night Sorrow pulled Lin Piaomiao back. It's nothing. Everyone has a temper. Destroying your courtyard is the same as slapping our faces. Lin Piaomiao threw the brick to Pu Luo and clapped her hands. Don't throw it carelessly. This is a divine weapon for smashing people. Pu Luo took the brick and wiped it twice. When we get back, give me your treasures. I'll help you deal with them, Night Sorrow said. The 4 of them took Yu Chu's new equipment and storage ring. After that, Lin Piaomiao, who was still angry, even set a fire. Night Sorrow added a few more flames. He didn't want Lin Piaomiao to bear this karma. After returning to their residence, they began to divide up the chapters. Night Sorrow, you said you wanted to deal with this divine weapon. Don't break it. It feels pretty good when I use it now. Pu Luo tossed the golden brick in his hand and said, He, Great Demon King, and Night Sorrow were all very casual when conversing. He didn't use any form of address. We've known each other for a few days now, so I won't hide it from you too. My brick is different from yours. If you hit someone, they'll only feel pain and faint. But mine is different. I have the sacred scripture of the human Tao, the book of Tao on it. If I smash it, it'll destroy one's luck and damage one's merit. Of course, the people I smash are all asking for it. Knight Sorrow held the human emperor's seal and activated it. Golden words started to flow at the bottom of the human emperor's seal. F***CK. That's the human emperor's seal. How did you turn it into a brick? Great Demon King stood up and said vulgarly. Yes, it's the human emperor's seal. It's what Li Zongyuan wants. My master, the peerless sword emperor, was worried that someone might covet it, so he helped me disguise it. That's why it's like this now, Knight Sorrow said. How did you turn the human emperor's seal into this? Pu Luo shook his head. I think it's pretty good. Whoever it hits will have bad luck. How are you going to deal with us robbers? Great Demon King took out the brick. He didn't put it in his storage ring. He kept it behind his waist, ready to use it at any time. I'll inject some human emperor's chi into your weapon. I don't know how effective it will be, but I'm sure it'll have something with human emperor's chi. Smacking people won't damage your merit and luck, Knight Sorrow said. Good. In the future, smacking people will be enforcing justice on behalf of the heavens. Knight Sorrow, you're the virtuous emperor. You can smack anyone you want. Great Demon King, how do you feel? Pu Luo looked at Great Demon King excitedly. That's right. I'll smack this thing on that heaven's pole old man's face sooner or later. Later, Commander Lin, do me a favor and let me go to evil punishing land. A few years ago, I could still sense Guizu's aura, but now I can't. I won't let that thing with ghost chi live, Great Demon King said. He's completely dead. That was before Knight Sorrow was banished, Lin Piaomiao said. That old thing is completely dead? That's a good thing. Unfortunately, I didn't get his ghost wings. I only got his ghost eyes. Don't think I killed him. That old thing's cultivation method is too evil. I told him to stop, but he wouldn't listen. What else can I do but kill him? Great Demon King shook his head. At this time, Lin Piaomiao's body shook and a pair of blue energy wings appeared on her back. Ghost wings. Pu Luo's eyes widened. Then, Lin Piaomiao told them about how she and Knight Sorrow entered evil punishing land. Pu Luo and Great Demon King nodded at Knight Sorrow. They knew that this was the power of merit. It could affect fate. Knight Sorrow placed Pu Luo and Great Demon King's golden bricks in front of him. Then, he activated the virtuous immortal body and activated the human emperor's seal. He channeled the power of merit into the two golden bricks. But after a while, he couldn't do it anymore. The power of the bricks was limited. That's it. The power of merit is the power of the heavenly Tao. Not everything can bear it. It's good enough to have a little power of merit in it. Pu Luo stopped Knight Sorrow, who was about to continue channeling power of merit. At this time, Lin Piaomiao's face turned cold. The Golden Dragon King arrived at Ethereal City, but he left in an instant. What's the situation? Knight Sorrow asked. At this time, Knight Sorrow's original body felt the vibration of the clear sky pagoda and came out of seclusion. Datura stood in front of the clear sky pagoda. Yun Huang and Liang Yu were also there. What happened? Knight Sorrow saw that their faces weren't good. When we were cultivating just now, a middle-aged man in a brocade robe came and took Long Jin away, Yun Huang said. Did he say anything? Knight Sorrow's face was filled with killing intent. Brothers were his reverse scale. He only said one thing. He won't hurt Long Jin, Yun Huang said. Chapter 1755. Will Long Jin be in danger? Knight Sorrow's eyes were filled with worry. They were brothers who had gone through life and death situations together. No. I just didn't expect Long Jin's bloodline to be so pure that the Golden Dragon King could sense it. Besides, the Golden Dragon King wouldn't go so far to the Misty Dynasty to kill someone. Perhaps this is Long Jin's opportunity. There are too few pure Golden Dragons. Those who awaken the Golden Dragon bloodline will at least reach the Emperor realm, Lin Piaomiao said to Knight Sorrow. Hearing Sister Xian say so, there shouldn't be any danger. I'm relieved. Night Sorrow let out a sigh of relief and returned to the clear sky pagoda. After confirming that his brother wasn't in danger, he stopped worrying. In the Tianhuang city, Night Sorrow shook his head. What happened? Pu Luo asked. Yi Shang explained the situation to him. The Golden Dragon bloodline is a big deal for dragons. He will definitely bring it back to awaken it and focus on nurturing it. How could he be hurt? Don't worry. Your brother will be a dragon in the future, Pu Luo said with a smile. While they were talking, Lu Qi arrived. Seventh Elder is here. Have a seat. Lin Piaomiao stood up and invited Lu Qi to sit. It can't be that you Chu complained, right? Seventh Elder looked. Night Sorrow's courtyard was demolished and we didn't say anything, Pu Luo said. I'm here to drink tea. I don't have any other intentions. I'm here to tell you Chu that I was here. Lu Qi looked at Pu Luo and said. Then they drank tea. Lu Qi asked Night Sorrow if he was used to it and said that someone would repair Night Sorrow's residence tomorrow. Then he stood up and was about to leave. Seventh Elder, that's it? The Great Demon King asked in surprise. It's done. Actually, I'm very envious of you. You can do whatever you want. Lu Qi said and left. If it was someone else, Seventh Elder would definitely say a few words. Last time I had a conflict with Heaven's fate, I was under a lot of pressure. Even the Grand Elder and Seventh Elder talked. Otherwise, Heaven's fate wouldn't have a chance to escape. Now it's good. No matter what happens, nothing will happen, the Great Demon King said. Night Sorrow's fate. Li Zongyuan and the others didn't separate. A big battle was not suitable either. If there was a real fight, then the Great Elder and Seventh Elder would definitely come out. The other party seized the opportunity when Lin Piaomiao wasn't on guard and ran away. They were all peerless experts. If they didn't fight, Lin Piaomiao wouldn't be able to stop them. Lin Piaomiao was furious. She stayed in Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow's original body couldn't cultivate anymore and came out of seclusion. #T forever. Free to read novels. That day, when Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao were chatting, a middle-aged lady came. She wore a jade phoenix ornament on her head. Ice Phoenix race. You want to snatch people too? Lin Piaomiao's fighting spirit exploded. Elder Lin, don't be angry. I know about the previous few waves of people who came to snatch people. They didn't have any bad intentions. They left after snatching people. I don't want to have any conflicts, the middle-aged lady said. Then why didn't you snatch and leave? Why did you come to provoke us? Lin Piaomiao's hand was still on her sword. I wanted to. But Elder Lin has been staying here. I don't have a chance. Also, I have to get the person I want from him. The middle-aged lady looked at Night Sorrow. Ice Phoenix race, you are here for my Aunt Fei? Night Sorrow understood something. The middle-aged lady nodded. Let's sit down and talk. I won't snatch people. If she comes with me, she will. If she doesn't, I won't force her. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow invited the middle-aged lady into the hall of Night Moon Villa. There are some things you don't know. The world you came from is a special place. It was created because of special reasons. Many people, I should say that some people know about it. They have exiled their descendants there to seek opportunities. Now you have seen it. The Green Rock race and the Nine-Tailed Fox race have taken their descendants away. Because they have a foundation, they can start nurturing them. Our Ice Phoenix race naturally has descendants here with you, the middle-aged lady said. Then I won't stop you. Everything will be up to Aunt Fei. Aluo went to the Nine Regions world to call her out. She should have recovered by now. Night Sorrow said to Datura, who was sitting at the side. He had helped Wu Feng solve his body's problem. The fire poison in Wu Lingfei's body was also dealt with. She was still in the Nine Regions world, recovering and cultivating. Then I thank you. The middle-aged lady cupped her hands at Night Sorrow. I still don't understand. So, those who were taken away were all from the Nine Regions world, but my brother Long Jin wasn't from there, Night Sorrow said. I can only say that the Golden Dragon King is stupid. He didn't control his strength well and threw his descendant out. In the end he missed. This is a joke. Of course, the result is not bad, the middle-aged lady said with a smile. All right. I'm convinced. I understand. Night Sorrow understood. Long Jin should have been born in the Nine Regions world. A moment later, Wu Lingfei and Datura arrived. Wu Lingfei looked at the middle-aged lady and was a little stunned. She felt that she was connected by blood. Child, your mother is in seclusion. So, your aunt is here to take you home. The middle-aged lady stood up. You are my aunt? Wu Lingfei's voice trembled. Yes. Once you return home, you will understand everything. The middle-aged lady nodded. But I don't want to go back now. The Ice Phoenix race doesn't need me. Wu Lingfei shook her head. No, we have divined that you are the Golden Phoenix of the Ice Phoenix race. This is the second time in the history of the Ice Phoenix race, so there are some responsibilities that need to be shouldered by you. You are the future of the Ice Phoenix race. Once you return to the Ice Phoenix race, you will be able to rise quickly. Only then can you keep up with the pace, the middle-aged lady said. Night Sorrow. Wu Lingfei looked at Night Sorrow. Family is the root. I have to go back. It can also increase your strength. Night Sorrow nodded at Wu Lingfei. Then Aunt Fei will go back. I will look for you after I see the situation. My roots are also in the Nine Regions world. Wu Lingfei said with a sigh. She had the heart of an expert and wanted to become strong. Kid, you have to work hard. The descendant of the Golden Dragon, the Ice Phoenix race's Golden Phoenix, the Azure Rock Sun, and the Nine-Tailed Fox's descendant are all top bloodlines. The middle-aged lady stood up. I know that the Ice Phoenix race is very strong. But I don't want to hear news of my aunt being wronged. Otherwise, no matter how strong you are, I, Night Sorrow, will fight to the end, Night Sorrow said to the middle-aged lady. Chapter 1756. Wu Lingfei left with the elder of the Ice Phoenix race. Liang Yu, how are the members of the God-slaying team now? After sending Wu Lingfei off, Night Sorrow went to the base of the God-slaying team. Everyone is working hard. Their strength is also increasing rapidly, Liang Yu said. Sister Xian Er, is there a special environment that can help everyone increase their cultivation speed and level? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao. There is the Eye of the Storm. Other than the sovereign attribute, there are all kinds of attribute wills. It is suitable for your brothers, Lin Piaomiao said after thinking for a while. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow decided to bring his brothers to the Eye of the Storm. He could comprehend and deduce by himself. However, the members of the God-slaying team needed the help of the environment. Some of them were still at the Holy King level and needed to comprehend wills. Everyone's cultivation potential was different. Even if Night Sorrow provided them with the spirit accumulation pill to increase their potential, they still had to rely on themselves to comprehend the will of heaven and earth. Lin Piaomiao took out a 3-legged cauldron. This has a time acceleration of close to 30 times. Night Sorrow, give it to the right people and let them use it. Night Sorrow did not stand on ceremony with Lin Piaomiao. He handed the cauldron to Liang Yu directly. We will work hard and become the leader's helpers. We can do it in the 9 domains world. In the celestial realm, give us time and we can do it too, Liang Yu said. Of course, there is nothing we can't do. If we work hard, there will be no problem. Night Sorrow nodded. Night Sorrow, your brother's cultivation speed is undeniable. They are the best in the celestial realm, Lin Piaomiao said. In the celestial realm, it was rare to have the cultivation of a holy king and king at such a young age. Their potential is not lower than anyone else's. They will be key figures in any force, Night Sorrow said. You're the Merit Emperor. Although they don't have any merit, they're blessed with good fortune. This is something that even the descendants of some races in the celestial realm can't compare to. Lin Piaomiao explained the situation of the members of the God-slaying team. It was Brother Shirsan who gave us unlimited resources and the best conditions for cultivation. The road is paved. We are only responsible for walking it, Qinzhen said. Night Sorrow, since you've opened the path, those who walk behind you won't be able to walk ahead of you. However, their speed is definitely fast. As long as they can keep up, they'll definitely succeed. Also, that elder from the Ice Phoenix race said that your 9 regions world is very special. Otherwise, Why would the various divine beast races be willing to send their descendants there? It's just that I don't know about these things, Lin Piamiao said. Brothers, stay alive. As long as you keep striving, you will be able to carve out a path. Knight Sorrow waved his arm at the members of the god-slaying team. Captain, go and do your work. I'll take good care of our brothers, Liang Yu said to Knight Sorrow. All right. Remember, if anyone doesn't want to follow us, kill them. If there's any problem, come back and find me, Knight Sorrow said to Liang Yu. Liang Yu brought his men and the escort Lin Piamiao caught, Lin Qixing and left. Knight Sorrow then returned to the Clear Sky Pagoda to cultivate. Tianhuang City was peaceful now. If Li Zongyuan's group didn't split up, Knight Sorrow and the others wouldn't have a chance to kill them. Mo Lu came again. Knight Sorrow and the other three went up to the city gate tower. Mo Lu threw the storage ring to Knight Sorrow. This time, Mo Lu doubled the resources, 20 million Saint Spirit stones, a bottle of Saint Spirit liquid, and 2 pieces of meteorite iron. Your demon-winged clan isn't good enough. 20 million Saint Spirit stones is passable. Other than this, it's just scrap metal. Great Elder of the demon-winged clan, if you aren't sincere, then I won't play with you anymore. Tianhuang City's environment isn't good. I plan to return to the celestial realm to cultivate, Knight Sorrow said as he put away the storage ring. Yishang, this is just a show of sincerity. I've already taken out a lot. It's not like I don't have anything good that you want. Let's talk. Mo Lu narrowed his eyes at Yishang. If he could, he wanted to punch Knight Sorrow's smiling face into pieces. However, he couldn't get angry because Mo Tianji's body was too important. If she recovered, she would be the top fighting force of the demon-winged clan. She could even change the direction of the war between the demon-winged clan and the human race. Have you thought about it? Your demon-winged clan sent 5 monarchs to kill me, an emperor. If I can't let this matter pass, why should I talk to you? 30 million Saint Spirit stones and 50 kilograms of Ash God stone. I'll talk with you. Knight Sorrow stated his price. In your dreams. Mo Lu roared. All right, you think I'm dreaming? I won't send you off. Knight Sorrow flashed and left the city gate tower. Pu Luo waved the golden brick at Mo Lu clenching teeth, the great demon king, and Lin Piamiao followed Knight Sorrow down the city gate tower. Then, they went to Knight Sorrow's yard. Knight Sorrow's yard had been renovated. Lin Piamiao helped with the decorations. It was quite elegant. Knight Sorrow, why do you want the Ash God stone? That thing is the lifeblood of the demon-winged clan. However, you've succeeded. You have to give me some, the great demon king said. You cultivate the power of destruction. Knight Sorrow also needs to cultivate the power of destruction. You want to rob? You want to rob your own people? Lin Piamiao looked at the great demon king with dissatisfaction. 50 kilograms. I only want 5 kilograms. I'll use other things to exchange for it. I just want to feel if the Ash God stone can bring about a breakthrough. How can this be considered robbery? The great demon king's gaze was fixed on Knight Sorrow. Original version _J first release. Alright, let's see if the demon-winged clan will compromise or not. If it's too little, they will compromise, but I think it's meaningless. Let's make them bleed. This might be the last time. If they bring it over and I don't talk about it, they won't give us any more resources, Knight Sorrow said. That's true. But you're too ruthless. The Ash God stone doesn't mean much to us humans, unless we cultivate the power of destruction. However, that's not the case for the demon-winged clan. That's their lifeblood. They can't cultivate without the Ash God stone. Moreover, the production of the Ash God stone is extremely low. They can only produce 1 kilogram every million years. They don't even have enough for themselves. You want 100 kilograms, which is the production of 100 million years. I'm afraid they can't take it out. After all, they don't have to worry about it. That's right. We're natural enemies. I almost died in their hands. Besides, I have the initiative. They don't have to talk about it. Knight Sorrow didn't really care. It was an external benefit. It would be best if they had it, but it didn't matter if they didn't. Besides, he felt that the demon-winged clan would compromise. After all, Mo Tianji was an expert of the tribulation of the Seven Emperors. Her status and position in the demon-winged clan was extremely high. That Mo Lu didn't leave immediately. That means there's still room for negotiation. Let's wait. Mo Tianji's body is in your hands anyway, Pu Luo said. Chapter 1757. You want to talk about blasphemy? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow. Yes, they dare not give me 50 kilograms of ash god stone. This matter will not end so easily, Night Sorrow said. Update latest / update king, you won. They have no choice but to accept it, Pu Luo said. Mo Lu left. He was furious. He had visited twice in a row and didn't even get a chance to talk. 50 kilograms of divine ash stone would damage the vitality of the Demon Wing clan, because it was a product of 100 million years. Although the Demon Wing clan had existed for countless years and had a stockpile of divine ash stone, the Demon Wing clan consumed it every year. Even if they controlled their usage, there was only a stockpile of 50 kilograms. This stockpile was prepared for the inner clan geniuses. Only geniuses with resources would have the opportunity to rise quickly. Now that Night Sorrow asked for 50 kilograms, it was like draining the blood of the Demon Wings race. Disagree? Mo Lu couldn't make such a decision. First of all, he had to carry out Mo Tianji's orders because of his identity and status. Also, looking at the big picture, Mo Tianji was an essential expert of the Demon Wing clan. The strength of the current cultivators was completely different from that of a few eras ago. However, Mo Lu also had his misgivings. He wondered if taking out 50 kilograms of ash divine stone would have any effect. This was because this was the right to negotiate. It was hard to say if they would be able to reach a conclusion in the end because Yi Sorrow was too evil. Returned to the Demon Wing's imperial city, Mo Lu went to the sacrificial tower and stood in front of Mo Tianji's statue. The result. Mo Tianji's voice came out. She only said 2 words. My lord, his request is very high. Mo Lu bowed and said, I don't care. You can't lose your body. Mo Tianji didn't ask for details and directly stated her request. Mo Lu bowed and left the sacrificial tower. He wanted to talk to Mo Tianji, but she didn't let him. After thinking for a while, Mo Lu prepared 2 storage rings. One of them contained the Holy Spirit stones and 10 kilograms of ash divine stones. The other storage ring contained 80 kilograms of ash divine stones. He planned to keep some backup plans and see if 10 kilograms of ash divine stones would work. However, Mo Lu didn't move immediately. If he moved too quickly, it meant that he was in a hurry and that the Demon Wings race had a lot of ash god stone. After a month, Mo Lu finally arrived outside the heavenly wasteland city. Night Sorrow and the other 3 appeared at the top of the city gate. After looking at the demon tower, Night Sorrow asked, Have you brought the item? Our Demon Wing clan's production of ash god stone is very low, and we have a fixed consumption every year. So, we only have 20 pounds, Mo Lu said. You can go back now. I can find an expert to refine Mo Tianji's body into a puppet. Even if I sell it to the aboriginals as a plaything, I won't give it to you. If you don't want to talk, then don't talk. Take back the 10 gene of divine ash stone. Night Sorrow roared at Mo, No. I'll give it to you, but I have a condition. No matter what the outcome of the discussion is, you can't desecrate that body. When Mo Lu saw that Night Sorrow was about to leave, he immediately waved his hand. The message from Night Sorrow's words was what he was most afraid of. Once her body was violated, Mo Tianji would be finished. Mo Tianji was related to the cultivation civilization of the Demon Wing race. She could even be said to represent the fate of the Demon Wing race. You're still talking to me about this now? You're worried about the resources, but I'm not. If you don't want to talk, I won't talk either. Night Sorrow said to Mo Lu, Fine. I'll talk to you. Mo Lu gritted his teeth and threw 2 storage rings to Night Sorrow. After checking them, Night Sorrow kept the storage rings. Now, we can talk about how we can return that body to our Demon Wing race. That's the body of our ancestor. We can't let it wander outside, Mo Lu said. Mo Tianji is an expert of your Demon Wing race. If I give you the body, she'll come and kill us humans? Night Sorrow looked at Mo Lu and said, You can state the price. Even if our demon wing race doesn't have it, we'll find a way to gather it for you, Mo Lu said. I won't give you Mo Tianji's body. Night Sorrow wasn't afraid of Mo Lu's anger. He had already gotten the resources. Whether Mo Lu turned hostile or not, he wouldn't get any more benefits. You're shameless. I've given you so many resources, and this is the only reply you can give me? Mo Lu's eyes were bloodshot. He was on the verge of going berserk. Our races are enemies. I'm not going overboard. When I was in Tianhuang Mountain, didn't you try to kill me by hook or by crook? Night Sorrow rebutted Mo Lu, Fine. I'll trade these resources for a promise from you. Can you not give the body to others? Mo Lu knew that he couldn't get Mo Tianji's body back. Night Sorrow was considering the overall situation of the human race. I can do that. Give me 10 more cloud dragon fruits. I won't give Mo Tianji's body to anyone, Night Sorrow said. Deal. I'll send it to you in 5 days. Mo Lu let out a sigh of relief and turned to leave. Is he stupid? 50 kilograms of Ashen God Stone for Mo Tianji's body. Did you see that? Why did he take the cloud dragon fruits? Great Demon King was confused. He's not stupid. He thinks that Night Sorrow can't do anything to Mo Tianji's body. He's worried about the experts of the human race. Pu Luo said, I see. Actually, I don't plan on giving Mo Tianji's body to others. Let's go and celebrate. Night Sorrow was happy. He had extorted the demon-winged clans several times. He had gotten 60 million Saint Spirit stones and some top-quality resources. These were all very difficult to accumulate. Pu Luo and Great Demon King were also very excited. They felt good about being blackmailed. After drinking 2 jars of wine, Night Sorrow gave Great Demon King 5 kilograms of Ashen God Stone. Pu Luo, Sister Xian, do you want it? No, our attributes don't match. Pu Luo shook his head. Lin Piaomiao didn't want it either. She didn't need the Ashen God Stone. Ashen God Stone could only be used by those who cultivated the destruction attribute. It was useless to others. I won't take advantage of you. When we go back, I'll find you some resources suitable for you. Great Demon King said. Forget it. It's boring to divide it so clearly. Don't reject this. He'll send me another 10 in a few days. Night Sorrow took out the cloud dragon fruits and gave one to each of them. This time, Great Demon King and Pu Luo didn't reject it because Mo Lu would send more. This is so comfortable. This is life. Pu Luo was very excited. I still want to mess with Li Zongyuan, but this guy is a coward. It's not easy to do it. Great Demon King said. Think of something. After you took his armor, he found someone to make a Vajra battle armor at a high price. That suits me best. Pu Luo said. He liked Li Zongyuan's new armor. He didn't use any weapons, only his iron fists. He cultivated the Vajra battle technique. We have to think of something. I've got it. I'll send my men to attack his territory. He won't go back? We'll go back and mess with him. Great Demon King came up with an idea. Chapter 1758. The elders and commanders of the Heavenly Barren City were almost all leaders of the forces in the Celestial Realm. Other than the forces in the Celestial Realm, the Great Demon King also had the support of another realm. Therefore, he could afford to have a war of forces. Great Demon King, let's not rush. Let's wait and see. They can't keep doing this. It's embarrassing, Pu Luo said. Yes, if we start a war of forces, things will get out of hand. It's not good for our reputation. Let's wait and see. There will be plenty of opportunities. You two are also clones. While the original body cultivates, the clones will fight with them, Lin Piaomiao said. Lin Piaomiao didn't want Night Sorrow's merit and luck to be hurt because of a war of forces. Then we'll listen to you. However, our team needs to be strong. The Celestial Realm needs a black brick. Since we can't kill them, we'll just use a black brick. The Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow and said, That's a good idea. We should form a team and do it together. The Grand Elder and the 7 Elders also have to look at the big picture. They can't punish us, Lin Piaomiao said. That's a good idea. Ruisi and Yuju met me 2 days ago. They said I had something good to tell them, Pu Luo said. These two will do. If we want to do it, our partners must have good character and strength. Just one of them is enough. The great demon king pointed at Night Sorrow because Night Sorrow's cultivation was the lowest. You despise me? And you despise me? Then spit out my ash god stone. Night Sorrow stared at the great demon king. Are you a dog? You're turning against me just like that? The great demon king rubbed his nose. The boat of friendship capsizes just like that? Pu Luo straightened his body and looked at Night Sorrow and the great demon king. No, how can I lower myself to his level? The great demon king said. All right, you win. Night Sorrow shrugged. He knew that the great demon king was joking, and so did Pu Luo. They were just looking for fun. Let's make a batch of bricks. In the future, we'll give each of those who have a sense of justice and can afford to play with them. Who should we target? Night Sorrow is the best choice, Pu Luo said. All right, you guys decide who you want. I'm only in charge of making a move. The great demon king nodded. Without a chance to attack Li Zongyuan and the rest, Night Sorrow rested in his courtyard. Lin Piaomiao also stayed in Night Sorrow's courtyard. Night Sorrow's courtyard was very lively. People often came to visit. Needless to say, the great demon king and Pu Luo would spend most of their time in Night Sorrow's courtyard. Pu Luo was very talented. Nobody knew where he got his hands on the Tao Te Ching. He took a carving knife and started to carve on his golden brick. Misty, what is this guy doing? Rain Bamboo, who had just joined the group, asked. Forging the human emperor's seal. Lin Piaomiao said. Pu Luo, mine must be done too. The great demon king slammed the brick on the table in front of Pu Luo. Pu Luo, who had been concentrating, suddenly shook his hand. The carving knife slipped and stabbed his hand. Blood came out immediately. In order to improve his senses, Pu Luo didn't have any energy to protect his body. Naturally, he bled. Pu Luo looked at the great demon king with fire in his eyes. You made a mistake? It doesn't matter. Let's continue. The great demon king smiled at Pu Luo. Don't come near me for 3 days. Otherwise, don't ask me to do this for you. After staring at the great demon king for a while, Pu Luo realized that he couldn't do anything to the great demon king. He didn't know how to scold him and he couldn't hit him. All right. The great demon king looked at Pu Luo's healed hand, which was still bleeding. He took a few steps back. Pu Luo, will this work? Rain Bamboo, who had a good relationship with Pu Luo, asked. I don't know. But it should look good. At least it will show patterns on someone's face. Rolling up his sleeves, Pu Luo took the carving knife and continued carving under the brick. You're really talented. Night Sorrow was impressed. Now he understood that no matter what status one had, one's inner world was different. Pu Luo's inner world was simple. He just wanted to have fun. Pu Luo was very careful. Even though he knew it was a fake, he still did it carefully. It took him 4 days to carve a Tao Te Ching on the bottom of the brick. Why are you so serious? The great demon king didn't understand why Pu Luo was so serious about carving a word. Although it's fake, it's the Tao Te Ching in my heart. It will accompany me in the future and carry out the justice and morality in my heart, Pu Luo said. There was no smile on his face. He was very solemn. I understand, the great demon king said. At the same time, he put his brick in front of Pu Luo. Let's take a break. I'll help you. Pu Luo nodded. Seeing that Pu Luo and the great demon king were busy, Night Sorrow planned to leave for a while and send some resources back to the Night Moon Villa. The Ash God Stone was only suitable for his real body. I update most, $up*. Come back soon. Without you, Tianhuang City will be boring. The great demon king looked at Night Sorrow and said, Okay, I'll come back after I send the resources back. It's too ostentatious to carry a lot of Holy Spirit stones. If I get hit by the black brick, it'll be a big loss, Night Sorrow said. That's impossible. But you're right. We'll wait for you to come back. We still have big things to do. Let's take care of Tianhuang City and then go to the divine capital. That's the fun place, Pu Luo said to Night Sorrow. Then Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao left Tianhuang City. Sister Xin Air, where the Golden Dragon Clan, the Green Rock Clan, the Nine-Tailed Fox Clan, and the Ice Phoenix Clan? Night Sorrow asked while sitting in the teleportation portal. They all have their own clans. They're all small spatial worlds. But they're different from ordinary worlds. Their worlds are all connected to the celestial realm. You can also call them grotto heavens. They're here to take people away. They're probably thinking about their descendants. Let's not be hostile, Lin Piaomiao said. No hostility. As long as they don't hurt my brothers, I'll be grateful, Night Sorrow said. These few clans are allies with us humans. Because the demon-winged clan is too strong, we can't rely on humans alone. A long time ago, we were defeated and the celestial realm was massacred. Later on, the humans rose and led the 100 clans to take back the celestial realm. Many of our ancestors fell in the war, Lin Piaomiao said. The celestial realm has fallen before? Night Sorrow was stunned. Chapter 1759. Why is the 9-domain world so special? I want to know, but I don't know who to ask. Night Sorrow voiced out his doubts. The Golden Dragon race and the Green Rock race have existed since the creation of the world. It's hard to say what level the Almighty in their race are. It's normal for them to be able to predict something. If there's something good, they wouldn't fall behind. I guess it's because of the perfect supreme attribute, merit, and luck. However, all of these are now with you. Their descendants didn't fight for you. Lin Piaomiao said. Sister Xian, you mean they were all after the perfect supreme attribute? In the end, the perfect supreme attribute came to me? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and asked. Perhaps. It's not that easy to change the path of the heavenly Tao. However, these races still profited. Their descendants have a good foundation and are also blessed with luck. When they go back and nurture them, they will be the elites of their race. They will be the future pillars. Lin Piaomiao said. That's not right. After I was born, the 9-domain world had existed for tens of thousands of years. Aunt Fei is older than me by a few hundred years. Tianyu and Yi Mei are younger than me by more than 10 years. Long Jin is older than me. Night Sorrow said. They can set a dormant period for their descendants after they release them. They will only be born when they meet certain conditions. It's not difficult for them to grow up. So it's hard to say. Anyway, you're fine now. Lin Piaomiao said. Night Sorrow still didn't understand. The original 9-domain world didn't have supreme attributes. However, Lin Piaomiao didn't know much. Perhaps one day he would have to ask someone who understood everything. After returning to the Yeyue Mountain Villa, Yi Shang handed over the Ash Divine Stones and Saint Spirit Stones to his true body. He had brought back more than 70 million Saint Spirit Stones this time, of which he had swindled 60 million from the Demon-Winged clan. During this period of time, Yi Shang had received about 10 million Saint Spirit Stones from the auction. This amount of resources was something Night Sorrow wouldn't have dared to think about in the past. When he was in Big Dipper City, he only had a few dozen Saint Spirit Stones. Night Sorrow had left the materials for alchemy and artifact forging with his clone. Now, his main body was working hard to increase his cultivation. Alchemy and artifact forging were things that wasted energy and time, so it was best to leave them to his clone. Night Sorrow returned to the 9 Regions world and went to the bottom of the Heaven Ceiling Hall to look at Emo Tianji's body. Emo Tianji's body lay there as if she was asleep. However, there was a murderous aura surrounding her. That was the killing aura of the 9 Regions, which could not be absorbed or refined. At the same time, it also prevented other auras from approaching. Feeling that there were no problems, Night Sorrow returned to the 9 Regions world and walked around. He felt that other than the rapid development of the 9 Regions world, there was nothing special about it. If there was anything else, as the Realm Lord, he would know immediately. Night Sorrow didn't feel anything. He went to the world of reincarnation and sensed the aura of his children. Night Sorrow then teleported to the Origin Dao sky. His body flickered twice and he arrived at a courtyard in the Origin Dao sky. At this moment, there were 2 people sitting in the courtyard and 2 people practicing swords. The two sitting were Night Sorrow's two daughters, Yi Qingyan and Yi Xiaolei. The two practicing swords were Yi Yujun and Yi Xiaoluo. They were both adults now. Father! Yi Qingyan and Yi Xiaolei stood up and hugged Night Sorrow. Their faces were filled with excitement. Yi Yujun and Yi Xiaoluo put away their swords and cupped their fists in front of Night Sorrow. Everyone sit down. How old are you now? You still don't know what to do. Night Sorrow patted his daughter's shoulders and sat down. Father, you haven't been busy recently? Yi Xiaoluo was already a young man. It's fine. I went back to the 9 regions world to deal with some matters. I missed you and came to see you. You're all working hard. Night Sorrow looked at his children and felt very happy. His children were very harmonious and hardworking. Father, it's our fault. We didn't go to see you and made you come all the way here to see us. Yi Xiaoluo said with guilt. There's nothing wrong with you. Remember, you're the best in your father's eyes. As your father, it's not a big deal for me to come and see you. Night Sorrow said with a smile. At this moment, Origin Dao Sky Lord arrived. Night Sorrow was now the domain lord of the primal chaos world. He had a high status. Naturally, he had to receive him. 5 Yong Q Gio. Novel K, Origin Dao Sky Lord, I'm very sorry. I was anxious to see my children and didn't go to see you first. Night Sorrow cupped his fists towards Origin Dao Sky Lord. What are you saying, Lord? Your words make me feel ashamed. Origin Dao Sky Lord cupped his fists towards Night Sorrow. After sitting down, Origin Dao Sky Lord discussed some matters with Night Sorrow. He felt that the primal chaos world was very stable now and wanted to search for Origin Dao Sky's inheritance. That's not a problem. However, the safety and stability of the primal chaos world is the most important. In other words, Origin Dao Sky's people can't come to the primal chaos world to develop. Now, we're grabbing resources from the primal chaos world. We can't become a resource base for others. Night Sorrow looked at Origin Dao Sky Lord and expressed his opinion. This was also his bottom line. Origin Dao Sky Lord understands. This is the bottom line of everyone in the primal chaos world. We won't be a base for any faction. What the primal chaos world is today was fought for by Lord Domain Lord. Everyone cherishes it. Origin Dao Sky Lord nodded. All the cultivators in the primal chaos world knew that the primal chaos world's limitless room for development was because of Night Sorrow. Therefore, they were very grateful and respectful. I've troubled Lord Domain Lord with these children. This is a little financial support from me to Origin Dao Sky. Night Sorrow cupped his fists at Origin Dao Sky Lord and took out a storage ring. Lord Domain Lord, you don't have to do this. You've given me a lot of faith by teaching these 4 children. I don't know how envious those fellows are. Forget about the financial support, Origin Dao Sky Lord said with a smile. That was the truth. Origin Dao Sky Lord was teaching Night Sorrow's 4 good seedlings alone. Tang Jianfeng and the others were very envious. It's not like that. In my heart, apart from the God-slaying team and the 9 Heavens army, the most worthy force in the primal chaos realm is the primal Dao God. For countless years, the primal Dao God has maintained the stability of the world of reincarnation. This is something that no other force can do. Take it. Yi Shang stuffed the storage ring into the primal Dao Lord's hand. Master, my father's family is very big. You should take it. Yi Xiaoluo said. That's good. In the future, when the primal chaos world needs Origin Dao Sky's help, they will have the strength to fight. Origin Dao Sky Lord nodded. After spending a day with his children, Night Sorrow arrived at the Qing Emperor's imperial court and the 9 Chong Pavilion. Seeing Night Sorrow, Nu Lin and the others were very excited. Night Sorrow was the soul of their army. With Night Sorrow around, they would be invincible. Commander, we're too bored. We want to conquer the celestial realm. Nu Lin said. All right. 9 Heavens army, move to Star Moon Lake. We want to conquer the world again. Night Sorrow looked at the soldiers of 9 Heavens army and said. Chapter 1760. Yes, sir. The arena was filled with the sound of armor being knocked on. Nu Lin, Qin Leiteng, and Ning, Wei Wei, Ji Feng, Qi Wang, and Qi Wang were all filled with fighting spirit. They were soldiers, and war was their destiny. Nu Lin, these are the resources I have prepared for everyone. Remember, resources are meant to be used. If you don't use them, the Holy Spirit stones are no different from rocks. Strength and combat power are actually life. They are the capital to ensure survival, Night Sorrow said to Endeavor. After giving out some instructions, Night Sorrow left the Qing Emperor's dynasty and returned to the celestial realm. He arrived at the Night Moon Villa. Bringing the Nine Heavens army to the celestial realm was Night Sorrow's idea back in the desolate city. If he had a good relationship with Lin Piaomiao and the stability of the Star Moon Lake, he would be able to develop. Development required protection. Night Sorrow had high hopes for the God-slaying team and the Nine Heavens army. The God-slaying team was also a part of the Nine Heavens army. Night Sorrow could afford to raise an army. Not to mention one, even a few wouldn't be a problem because the resources of a realm weren't as abundant as Night Sorrow's. When they arrived at the Night Moon Villa, Night Sorrow called for Ghost Monkey and asked Red to bring him to the Star Moon Lake. Ghost Monkey would explain the current situation in the celestial realm to the Nine Heavens army as a guide. Night Sorrow, are you planning to develop fully? Lin Piaomiao asked when she saw that Night Sorrow had sent Red and Ghost Monkey away. Yes, I used to have concerns about the Misty Dynasty and the surrounding forces. Now, this problem doesn't exist. If the East Hao Mountain and World Edge Pavilion are hostile to the Star Moon Lake, I will bring people to flatten them. As for the Misty Dynasty, I am the Lord of the Misty Dynasty, right? Night Sorrow had a murderous look on his face when he talked about the Misty Dynasty, but he laughed when he talked about the Misty Dynasty. Not just the Overlord. In the future, I will be able to marry a daughter-in-law from the Misty Dynasty, Datura said with a chuckle. Luo, the Nine Heavens army needs an emperor. Right now, you and Senior Sandalwood are the most likely candidates, Night Sorrow said as he looked at Datura. 1 year. Give me 1 more year and I can do it. Datura's eyes were filled with confidence. That's good enough. Night Sorrow isn't far from a 3-star emperor. If he isn't an emperor, he can kill an emperor. If 2 more emperors appear in the Nine Heavens army, then it will be a strong army. Lin Piaomiao said, what we need now is time. But don't worry, we have to be patient. A few days ago, I was sorting through my storage ring and found something good. My main body's destruction attribute might improve, Night Sorrow said. It's not the Ash God Stone? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow. No, I have a Destruction Origin Stone in my storage ring. I actually forgot about it. A few days ago, I was planning to send some resources back to the 9 Regions world. When I was sorting it out, I found it. I'm studying it now. Night Sorrow explained the situation. Night Sorrow had indeed forgotten about it. It was the Thunder Core Iron that he had given to his wife when he helped the fallen Jun Yunan in the Heaven and Earth Pagoda. It was given to him by his wife, the daughter of the Wu Ling Mountain Lord, Wen Yu. The Destruction Origin Stone is a good thing. Datura and Lin Piaomiao looked at each other because Lin Piaomiao had given one to Datura. Yes. If I let go of the restraints and use my soul power to guide it, the Destruction Origin Stone contains a lot of power of heaven and earth. If this continues, my destruction attribute will enter the 2-star Emperor realm soon. Night Sorrow said. He was very confident in himself. The Destruction Origin Stone is very rare and has different levels. Usually, it contains the power of will. Very few have the power of heaven and earth. The one you got should be a top-level one. This is a good thing, Lin Piaomiao said. After staying at the Night Moon Villa for 2 days, Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao were about to go to the Heaven Desolate City again when Sandalwood came and went to the Night Moon Villa. Senior brother. Night Sorrow was very happy to see Sandalwood. When he went to the Qing Emperor's dynasty, Night Sorrow checked and found that there was someone in the Heavy Flower Palace, but Sandalwood was not there. Junior brother, I was worried that you wouldn't be here. You really are here. Sandalwood went up and patted Night Sorrow's shoulder heavily. Yes, I almost left. Senior brother, have a seat. Chuyu, 6th senior sister, let's have a family feast today. Night Sorrow gave up on the idea of leaving. Alright. Since senior brother is here, you brothers should have a drink, Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. Thank you, sister-in-law. Sandalwood clasped his fists at Sikong Chuyu. Night Sorrow introduced Lin Piaomiao to Sandalwood. Sandalwood clasped his fists at Lin Piaomiao. Sandalwood thanks the War Emperor for taking care of my junior brother in the Chaos Realm. You're welcome. No wonder you two are so close. Lin Piaomiao nodded at Sandalwood with a look of admiration. Sandalwood had a strong fighting spirit. The first impression he gave off was that he was a tough guy. I went back to the Qing Emperor's dynasty. Since senior brother is not in the Heavy Flower Palace, I did not disturb senior sister, Night Sorrow said. Recently, I've been busy with my cultivation and looking for a breakthrough. I'm here to discuss something with you, junior brother. Sandalwood said. Senior brother, please speak your mind. Night Sorrow was a little puzzled. His senior brother didn't ask for help easily. He didn't know what he wanted to discuss, but he would agree to it no matter what it was. Senior brother, I'm going back to the Nine Heavens Army. The situation is different now. Back then I left the Nine Heavens Army to you. You could fight and rise together. Now that you're busy, I want to fight with my old brothers, Sandalwood said. That's it? I thought you were going to teach someone a lesson. Let's go back after drinking. The invincible commander of the Nine Heavens Army is back. New Lin and the others will be overjoyed. Night Sorrow was overjoyed. The first commander of the Nine Heavens Army was Sandalwood. Sandalwood's return was definitely something worth celebrating. No, it's not like that. Senior brother, you don't want to be a commander. Back then, I told you that you would be the commander of the Nine Heavens Army. Facts have proven that the Nine Heavens Army under your leadership is developing at a different pace than when I was leading it. So, you're the most suitable one. I just want to go back and be a small soldier. Sandalwood said. The 7 commanders of the Nine Heavens Army are fixed. There's no such thing as a commander. Senior brother, you're the most suitable one to be the commander, Night Sorrow said. X/X/X/X/Y/J. No, that won't do. Sandalwood shook his head. You two are really conflicted. Senior brother Sandalwood, you can just go back and be the deputy commander. If I enter the Imperial Realm, I'll be the deputy commander of the Nine Heavens Army too, Datura said. Yes, that's a good idea. Junior brother, what do you think? Sandalwood asked. As long as you don't mistreat senior brother, there's nothing I can't do. Then it's settled. Luo, you can cultivate with your true body and send your clone to the Nine Heavens Army. You should know a bit about the Celestial Realm situation and the areas suitable for training. Night Sorrow looked at Datura. Chapter 1761. Sure. That's not a problem. As for assimilation, it shouldn't be too difficult. Night Sorrow nodded. The soldiers of Nine Heavens Army and Dark Abyss all knew about the relationship between Night Sorrow and Datura, so they wouldn't reject it. Everyone drank a lot during the banquet. Seeing the development of 9 regions world and Chaos Realm, Night Sorrow was very happy. He told Sandalwood and Datura that his main body was cultivating in Night Moon Villa. If anything happened, they could call him. Night Sorrow's doppelganger and Lin Piaomiao left for Heavenly Desolate City. Night Sorrow didn't know what Pu Luo and Great Demon King were doing over the past few days. They arrived at Heavenly Desolate City's Imperial Teleportation Formation. Sitting on it, Yishang and Mandela arrived at Heavenly Desolate City and went to Yishang's courtyard. Pu Luo and Great Demon King were still in Night Sorrow's courtyard. Pu Luo rolled up his sleeves and held a carving knife, working. Elder Pu Luo, you're not done yet? Night Sorrow looked at Pu Luo and asked. Just call Pu Luo. You guys came back so quickly. You have to be serious when carving the Tao Te Ching. You have to be sincere in your heart. This will have some effect. Pu Luo seriously carved the Tao Te Ching on a brick. Everything's done? This is yours. Great Demon King threw a storage ring to Night Sorrow. Read novels for free for a long time X. I told you, the Ash God Stone is for you. Night Sorrow threw the storage ring back to Great Demon King. Just take it. It's suitable for you. I have no use for it. Great Demon King threw the storage ring back to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow glanced at Great Demon King and put away the storage ring. Why don't you take a look? Don't you have any expectations? Great Demon King looked at Night Sorrow with dissatisfaction. Let me take a look first. Night Sorrow smiled and opened the storage ring given to him by the Great Demon King. There were 2 glowing purple stones that piqued his interest because he could sense what they were. The Void Origin Stone looked the same as the Destruction Origin Stone. The only difference was that they contained different attributes of energy. This treasure of yours is not bad, Night Sorrow said, holding the Void Origin Stone. Haha, although I am not as fast as you when it comes to looting treasures, I am still quite capable, the Great Demon King said with a chuckle. Night Sorrow asked, have there been any movements from those guys recently? Do we have a chance to make a move? We didn't have a chance to do anything. They are so shameless now. Those fellas are together every day. But we have a new target. But since you didn't come back, we didn't do anything. The Great Demon King said, what's the situation with that target? Night Sorrow asked Puluo. It is time to teach him a lesson. He is also a shameless old man who takes advantage of his seniority to take care of weak forces. So what if he eats it? His table manners are terrible. Puluo nodded. Make him spit it out if his table manners are terrible. We will make a move tonight. Night Sorrow made his decision. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, everyone was excited, including the new members, Ruisi and Yuju. Night Sorrow, we haven't done anything yet. Let's try it out tonight, Yuju said. What's the plan? Ruisi looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Do we still need a plan? There are 6 of us and the 5 of you are experts. You won't be any weaker than the other party. The 5 of us will work together. As long as one of us gets the right item, the mission will be completed, Night Sorrow said. Yeah. The 5 of us need a plan to get a piece of trash. Puluo, your Vajra area is the strongest. You suppress it and we will work together, the Great Demon King said. Okay, we don't have to hug the other party this time. The last few times were so disgusting, Puluo said. They brewed tea and chatted as they waited for night to fall to make their move. Li Zongyuan and the others were still together. They were also in a dilemma. They didn't dare to separate, especially Yu Chu. He had been shot twice by Night Sorrow and the others. Night Sorrow, Puluo, and the Great Demon King Lantern couldn't make a move, but they were all embarrassed. They were the elders of the human race, but they didn't dare to act alone. They were worse than the weaklings of the celestial realm. Why don't we negotiate? Yu Chu couldn't take it anymore. Have you heard of Night Sorrow negotiating with the Demon-Winged clan? He asked for 60 million Saint Spirit stones and a lot of resources. In the end, the Demon-Winged clan didn't get anything. If we negotiate with him, I think he will cheat us, Li Zongyuan said. But if we continue like this, we will lose face, Yu Chu said. Yu Chu said. He felt that since he had been slapped twice, Yishang and Puluo wouldn't make things too difficult for him. Don't worry, they don't dare to separate, Li Zongyuan said. Li Zongyuan knew that others could negotiate, but he couldn't. He was the leader of this group. Night Sorrow and the others wouldn't let him go easily. Night Sorrow and the others hadn't left yet. Yu Chu came looking for an excuse to leave Li Zongyuan's place. He wanted to try to negotiate with Night Sorrow and the others. You still dare to come here? Puluo took out his brick. The Great Demon King also took out his brick from behind his back. I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm here to negotiate. How can you let me go? Yu Chu quickly waved his hand. At this moment, Puluo's brick was only 2 feet away from his head. Night Sorrow, do you want to negotiate? The Great Demon King stood behind Yu Chu, cutting off his escape route. We can't kill him with a brick. If he can change, then we can still negotiate, Night Sorrow said to the Great Demon King. If you want to negotiate, sure. Sincerity, we need sincerity, the Great Demon King said. His tone was exactly the same as Night Sorrow's negotiation with the Demon-Winged clan. Sincerity? After being extorted twice, I really don't have any resources left, Yu Chu said with a bitter face. That won't do. We have 6 people here. Wasting time with you every day is mentally and physically exhausting, Pu Luo said. Elder Pu Luo, you can't do this. Yu Chu was shocked because he didn't expect Pu Luo to be like this. Pu Luo was the elder of the law enforcement sect, one of the core figures of the Tianhuang city. But now he didn't hesitate to slap the brick. So what if he's the elder of the law enforcement sect? Li Zongyuan is the elder of the law enforcement sect. What has he done? Night Sorrow, what do you think we should do? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow. First of all, the 6 of us, 2 million Saint Spirit stones each. Then, we have to make some promises that we won't do anything immoral. Most importantly, we won't mix with Li Zongyuan anymore, Night Sorrow said. 2 million Saint Spirit stones each. Hurry up and send them over. As for the promises, it's not important. If you dare to mess around again, we can continue the auction. We can't wait to have this opportunity again, the great Demon King said and stepped aside. Yu Chu nodded and left. He could accept 10 or 20 million Saint Spirit stones to solve the problem. Chapter 1762. Very good. This is a good sign. If he quits, Li Zongyuan's small gang will be in trouble. Pu Luo put away the gold brick. Is this really okay? We're not just blackmailing him. This is extortion. He won't complain to the Grand Elder or the 7 elders, right? Reese asked worriedly. Do you want the 2 million or not? If you don't want it, we'll each pay 4 million. The great Demon King looked at Reese and said, What are you afraid of? We're not afraid. Are you going soft? Pu Luo looked at Reese and said, Elder Reese, we're not blackmailing him. We're teaching him to be careful. It's just a small price to pay. This is good for him and for us. Night Sorrow said, That's true. This is a good thing. We've never done this before. But Night Sorrow, you're right. Reese nodded. Let's go. Now we have to deal with that ugly Lu Donghui, Pu Luo said. The 6 of them left. The brick team was getting bigger and bigger. Lu Donghui's strength was at the bottom of the human elders list. Under Pu Luo's King Kong area, he couldn't resist at all. A few bricks hit his head. Night Sorrow and the great Demon King hit the back of Lu Donghui's head with bricks. Pu Luo hit his face directly, and Lu Donghui fell to the ground like noodles. Lin Piaomiao didn't plan to do anything. She stood guard outside and watched for any sudden changes. Reese and Yu Zhu were holding the bricks in a daze. They didn't hit them because Night Sorrow and the other 2 were too fast. You guys are too embarrassed to hit them? In the future, other than Elder Lin, no one else can hit them. The resources you get will be halved, the great Demon King said. What kind of rule is this, great Demon King? Reese was confused. This is to tell you that if you follow us, you won't get anything if you're thin-skinned. If you're thick-skinned, you can eat as much as you want, the great Demon King said. That's what it means. But I should correct you. You have to do justice for the heavens. Pu Luo nimbly took Lu Donghui's storage ring, and the great Demon King also seized Lu Donghui's weapon. Under everyone's shocked gazes, Yu Zhu stepped forward, bent down, and smashed a brick into Lu Donghui's face. A crisp sound rang out, and Lu Donghui's nose was flattened. Not to mention the teeth in his mouth, they were all deflated. Yu Zhu, do you have a grudge against Lu Donghui? Pu Luo asked Yu Zhu. No. Yu Zhu wiped the brick on Lu Donghui's robe and said, That's enough. You have a good understanding of the word responsibility. Let's call it a day. Pu Luo gave Yu Zhu a thumbs up. Then the few of them left. It only took a moment for them to leave as quickly as they came. Starter on the top floor of the tower where the Grand Elder was, the Grand Elder and the 7th Elder were standing in front of a window. These guys are now organized and have a plan. Being targeted by them is bad luck, Lu Qi said. Although it can be troublesome, it is also a way to purify the atmosphere. They won't provoke those who have no bad records. They have a measure in their hearts, the Grand Elder said as he looked outside the tower. In addition, their small team is very cohesive. If there is a battle in the future, they will be the backbone of our Tianhuang city, Lu Qi said. After cleaning up the Tianhuang city, they will move to the divine capital. Although Night Sorrow does not belong to our Tianhuang city, he has made great contributions to the human race. Whether it is suppressing Mo Tianji's body or taking back the human emperor's seal, any one of them is very meaningful. So, there should be room for him to develop in the divine capital. You have a clone in the divine capital. Let King Youwu know, the Grand Elders said to Lu Qi. Let King Youwu arrange it directly? Lu Qi was stunned. Yes, after Yan Wushuang's accident, he was a little depressed and did not care about the world. Night Sorrow has taken Yan Wushuang's inheritance. This should be let him know. The Grand Elder confirmed the arrangement. Okay, then Lu Qi will go see King Youwu tonight. Lu Qi nodded. Little Seven, your strength is not a problem, but it won't do if you don't interact with the older generation. Interacting with King Youwu is also a start for you, the Grand Elder said to Lu Qi. Lu Qi will do his best. Lu Qi nodded. The giants of the Demon Wing clan are very strong. Now, our city lord can control the situation, but the future situation can't depend on the city lord alone. So, the Grand Elders have gone out to seek breakthroughs. They will either die or return. In this situation, you have to take on some responsibilities. Pu Luo, the Great Demon King, and Lin Piaomiao are all very outstanding, but because they are young, they are not very stable. They need some time, the Grand Elder said to Lu Qi. Lu Qi understands. My clone is now at the city lord's residence, Lu Qi said. The Shendu city was the first city in the celestial realm. It was the most prosperous city and the core of human civilization. It was not easy to establish a foothold in the Shendu city. It was mainly because of ideology. The city lord of the Shendu city was called King Youwu. King Youwu loved to fight, so the city he was in charge of was not restricted to fighting. If you had the ability, you could survive. If not, you could get out of the Shendu city. So, the relationships in the Shendu city were very complicated. Some forces had to work together to survive. King Youwu almost did not care about the affairs in the city. But some things that crossed the line were not done. If they dared to betray the human race, they would be killed. Lu Qi stood in front of the city lord's residence and stopped for a while. Then he entered. The guards recognized Lu Qi and did not stop him. The city lord's residence was very big. Lu Qi went to the Yawa mountain in the city lord's residence. The Yawa mountain was where King Youwu cultivated and lived. Not many people were qualified to see him. The human patriarchs were qualified, but they could only wait at the foot of the mountain. It was hard to say whether they could see him or not. It depended on King Youwu's mood. Lu Qi sat quietly in the pavilion at the foot of the Yawa mountain. He was the law enforcement patriarch of the Tianhuang city and the Shendu city, but he had only seen King Youwu a few times. It was like he had never seen the city lord of the Tianhuang city. While Lu Qi was thinking, a man in a purple robe appeared in the pavilion. He wore a purple gold crown. His eyes were like the sun and moon of the Zhongshan River. There was no aura coming from him. He glanced at Lu Qi and sat down on the main seat. Lu Qi, how can someone of your level be so emotional? Greetings, City Lord. I was thinking about something. Lu Qi stood up and bowed to King Youwu. The man in the purple robe raised one hand and gestured at Lu Qi. Sit down and talk. I did not sense anything wrong with the Tianhuang city. There is nothing wrong with the Shendu city either. I am here to talk to you about something. It is also the Grand Elder's idea. A young man may come to the Shendu city to develop, Lu Qi said. Survival of the fittest, King Youwu said. Chapter 1763. What did you say? The purple-robed King Youwu stood up. His name is Night Sorrow. He received the inheritance of the unparalleled Sword Emperor. Before the unparalleled Sword Emperor's soul dissipated, he took him in as a disciple. The main thing is that he's a good seedling, Lu Qi said. It doesn't matter if he's a good seedling or not. What matters is that he's unparalleled's disciple, Fen Tian. King Youwu shouted in the other direction of Yawa Mountain. His voice was like a wave that enveloped the entire mountain. At this time, a man in golden clothes appeared. He flashed and appeared outside the pavilion. Master, what do you want me to do? Go and investigate a person called Night Sorrow. I want all his information. King Yowu looked at the man in golden clothes and said. When Lu Qi saw the man in golden clothes appear, he knew that King Yowu attached great importance to this matter. The man in golden clothes rarely appeared. In the past, every time he appeared, there would be a storm of blood. He was King Yowu's only disciple, Fan Tian. He used the Big Dipper sword and was very famous in Shindu City. Bowing to King Yowu, the golden-robed man Fan Tian left. Lu Qi, how much do you know? King Yowu asked. Lu Qi told him everything he knew. The Merit Emperor's merit power is the power of the human emperor. He has no problem controlling the human emperor's seal. I didn't expect Unparalleled to take in such a disciple before his soul perished. I'm very happy. King Yowu squinted his eyes and looked at the sky. I don't understand, Lu Qi said. Go ahead. King Yowu looked away. Many people know that the Unparalleled Sword Emperor went to the Demon-Winged clan. Why didn't he go and help? Lu Qi felt that it was unfair for Yan Wushuang. He didn't need help at all. If Wushuang wanted to leave and come back, even if his body was destroyed by the tribulation of the 7 emperors, it wouldn't be difficult for his nascent soul to come back. Therefore, there was no need for help. I just didn't expect him to be entangled with the Demon-Winged clan for so many years. It was a mistake. King Yowu clenched his right hand and a dark cloud in the sky in the distance was destroyed. Then Lu Qi understands. Lu Qi now knew that the humans of Heavenly Desolate City and God's capital city had not given up on Yan Wushuang. After he finished speaking, Lu Qi left. He understood why the Grand Elder had told him to say that Night Sorrow had obtained Yan Wushuang's inheritance. Without this, King Yowu would have been too lazy to care. He had started talking about the survival of the fittest. After he talked about the relationship between Night Sorrow and Yan Wushuang, King Yowu's attitude changed. In Tianhuang City, Lu Qi told the Grand Elder about King Yowu's reaction and made a decision. That's for sure. The two of them are sworn brothers. Night Sorrow has Yan Wushuang's inheritance. King Yowu will definitely attach great importance to him, the Grand Elder said with a smile. Grand Elder, now that Ethereal, Puyo, and the Great Demon King have a good relationship with Night Sorrow, if King Yowu protects him a little more, his background will be strong enough. His development should be very smooth, Lu Qi said. Night Sorrow is someone who can go through storms, but he is ignorant about some things. In his heart, Star Moon Lake and his own realm are the most important things. He has level 9 merit power and will be the core of the human race. Therefore, friendship and the care of elders are especially important. He will have a sense of belonging. How will you deal with Li Zongyuan's matter? The Grand Elder looked at Lu Qi. Let's mess with him first. When he's done, there's no point in him existing. Let him go back to where he came from. Lu Qi said his thoughts long ago. He was in charge of the rules and discipline, so he would deal with such things. However, the things he dealt with in the past were not as high as they were now. The Grand Elder nodded. He trusted Lu Qi because Lu Qi was decisive in killing. If he didn't like him, he wouldn't show any mercy. Night Sorrow's small courtyard was of a lower standard. It couldn't be compared to the residences of the commanders and elders, but it was already the base of the small team. No wonder you were willing to do this. But this time, that old bastard's face changed. Yu Zhu, who had hit Lu Donghui with a brick, was still excited. Yu Zhu, it's good that you have a strong attitude, but it's wrong to gloat. Do you want your happiness to be built on other people's pain? Pu Luo looked at Yu Zhu and said, Yu Zhu didn't know what to say. Pu Luo's words made sense. But soon, we won't be able to play in Tianhuang City. We have to change places. Happiness is everywhere. Pu Luo changed the topic. Pu Luo, what do you mean? Whatever I say is wrong, what you say is right. Yu Zhu glared at Pu Luo. Did I say something wrong? Things can be done, but it's boring to talk about it. We still need to cover up our shame. Demon King, am I right? Pu Luo looked at the Demon King. Whatever you say. The Demon King looked at Pu Luo. Then you will be happier, Pu Luo replied to the Great Demon King. While they were chatting, Yu Chu came and handed Night Sorrow a storage ring. After checking it, Night Sorrow nodded. Okay, let's call it quits. Wait. Yu Chu, God is watching. Don't go overboard. If God doesn't punish you, you will. Pu Luo stopped Yu Chu, who was about to leave. Yu Chu nodded at Pu Luo. Don't feel pressured. You've done a lot of bad things in the past, but this time, you've done something. Today is the end, but also the beginning. The heavenly Tao has a cycle of reincarnation. This matter is actually a cycle of reincarnation for you. It's not a bad thing because you have another chance to stand up straight, Yishan said to Yu Chu. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Knight, for clearing my doubts. Yu Chu is enlightened. I owe you a favor. Yu Chu bowed at Night Sorrow and left. In the celestial realm, Master was a title for those with high cultivation and high status. Mr. was a title of respect and reverence. Pu Luo, Demon King, you two are right. Compared to Night Sorrow, you're too weak. You took the Holy Spirit stones in exchange for gratitude and a favor, Yuju said. Night Sorrow wasn't joking this time. We wanted to punish and warn him, but Night Sorrow wanted to educate him. He wanted to give him a new belief that Yu Chu wouldn't have any problems in the future. Pu Luo said, Yes, we didn't have enough awareness. It's not enough to cure a patient. The Demon King was touched. You two are too serious. I just said a few words from my heart. I didn't expect it to affect him so much. Night Sorrow said, Who do you think will be the second to negotiate? The Demon King asked. No matter who it is, it won't be Li Zongyun. Pu Luo smiled. It better not be him. His Haitian dynasty isn't far from the ethereal realm. It's more suitable for Night Sorrow to develop. Lin Piaomiao said. Chapter 1764. Commander Shao, you came knocking on my door? The great Demon King took out his weapon. Calm down. I have no ill intentions. Night Sorrow, it was my mistake to banish you last time. I won't say that I was blinded by others. A mistake is a mistake. However, you can't treat Tianhuang City as an enemy because of my mistake and cause chaos in Tianhuang City. State your conditions. If I can do it, I'll do it. You can stop, Xiao Jun said. Elder Xiao, what have you been doing these past few days? Pu Luo asked. Although I left the cliff of reflection, I was still meditating. Xiao Jun explained his situation. We took care of a few people. Now let me tell you. Li Zongyuan, Zhu Chao, Yu Chu, Lu Donghui and Ban. What do you think of their characters? Do you think we were messing around? You are overthinking. Pu Luo said. If we were to mess around and have no principles, you would be the first person we would look for. The great Demon King said. Zhu Chao, Yu Chu, and Lu Donghui. I understand. Night Sorrow, I owe you. I will do as you say. Xiao Jun looked at Night Sorrow and said, Since Elder Xiao is here, I will say a few words. First of all, the matter between Bai Qiuyuan and I will not be resolved. I hope Elder Xiao will not interfere. Night Sorrow made his first request. Bai Qiuyuan's character is terrible. He made up stories and framed me. It's good enough that I didn't look for him, much less protect him. Xiao Jun nodded. In addition, I would like to remind Elder Xiao. It's not wrong for you to work hard for the human race, but you must give people a chance. There are two sides to good and evil. You must be more patient with the human race. Night Sorrow said, This is my negligence. I will learn from it. As for the other compensation, you can name it. Xiao Jun nodded and accepted Night Sorrow's suggestion. There's no need for compensation. Elder Xiao, you have gained enlightenment. This matter has a perfect ending. Although I suffered a little, it was also a trip of opportunity. Night Sorrow shook his head. He did not accept Xiao Jun's compensation. Xiao Jun was radical in his handling of matters, but his starting point was not wrong. What's going on? Sighed. Xiao Jun sighed and turned to leave. Night Sorrow, you did the right thing. Xiao Jun really can't be dealt with, the great Demon King said. I don't plan to teach him a lesson. I won't lead you guys into a ditch, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Well said. What should we do next? Recessed. He had joined the team because he was worried that the core of the team, Night Sorrow, would cause trouble. What should we do now? Divide the resources. Knight Sorrow walked to the center of the courtyard and opened Yu Chu's storage ring. He transferred the 12 million Saint Spirit stones to the center of the courtyard, then stretched out his arm and cut the Saint Spirit stones into 6 piles. You guys can choose first, I'll take last. The few of them immediately packed up the Holy Spirit stones and left, leaving behind a pile of Knight Sorrows. Knight Sorrow put his pile into his storage ring. Reese, if you can't do it next time, don't take the Holy Spirit stones. The Great Demon King glanced at Reese. While the few of them were talking, Li Zongyuan received news that Yu Chu and Knight Sorrow were negotiating. This made him extremely angry because the people around him were already weak, and now there was one less person. And 4x5z version 1h1d. However, Li Zongyuan had no way to stop this. He went to see the Grand Elder and Lu Qi again. The Grand Elder did not see him, but Lu Qi did. This time, Lu Qi did not avoid the question. He directly said that he did not care. He did not want to avoid the question anymore. After receiving a clear answer from Lu Qi, Li Zongyuan left in a huff. Lu Qi clearly did not want to care about him. Li Zongyuan returned to his residence and was furious again because Zhu Chao had also run away. Li Zongyuan left his residence and went to Knight Sorrow's courtyard to investigate. It was as he had expected. Zhu Chao was in Knight Sorrow's courtyard, negotiating with Knight Sorrow and the others. Li Zongyuan thought for a moment and returned to his residence. He told Ban and Lu Donghui to leave quickly. He packed up and left. He knew that if he stayed any longer, he would suffer. After receiving the compensation from Zhu Chao, Knight Sorrow and the others felt that it was enough. It was not a problem to directly kill Li Zongyuan. They rushed to Li Zongyuan's residence like a swarm of bees, but Li Zongyuan was nowhere to be seen. They went to capture Lu Donghui and Ban again. Knight Sorrow and the others found that Ban and Lu Donghui had also disappeared. These bastards are quite fast. Knight Sorrow, when do you plan to take down Li Zongyuan's Ocean Sky dynasty? The Great Demon King said. He was a warmonger in his bones. There's no rush. My men are still growing. They still need some time. Remember, that territory is mine, Yishan said as he looked at the others. Got it? It's yours. You decide when to attack. The Great Demon King nodded. Now that the Tianhuang city is almost done, the Grand Elder and the 7 clan elders will not be able to handle it. Pu Luo said. We have to know when to stop. Let's go to the Divine Capital. Knight Sorrow has no territory in the Divine Capital. What should we say? The Great Demon King looked at them and asked. Each of you will give us some territory. Yuju said. No need. I will take whatever I want from my opponents. It's not fun to take from my friends. Knight Sorrow shook his head and rejected. While they were talking, Fentian returned to Yawu Mountain and reported to King Yawu about Knight Sorrow. After listening to Fentian's report, King Yawu paced back and forth and thought, Wushuang is good. He took in such a heaven-defying disciple. Master, this guy is the Merit Emperor, but what he has done is not flattering. He brought a few clan elders of the Heavenly Wasteland City and caused a ruckus in the Heavenly Wasteland City. A few clan elders were hit by them with a specially refined brick. Not only did they hit them, they even robbed them. Currently, there are 4 or 5 human clan elders who have been attacked. The one with the highest level is the law enforcement clan elder Li Zongyuan. This is a skill. It's the core no matter where he goes. If he's really unreasonable, the Grand Elder and Lu Qi will not let him do as he pleases. King Yawu shook his head. Lu Qi said that he wants to develop in the Divine Capital. Then the Divine Capital will be in a mess. Fentian said. Fentian, you're just looking at the surface. The Merit Emperor has merit. How can he mess around? At his level, there will no longer be anything that will harm his merit. Even if it seems wrong, it will become right in the end. The people he takes care of will definitely have bad records. Because people with good conduct will only feel close to him and will not have bad feelings. King Yawu glanced at Fentian and said, Master, do you mean that if he slit someone's throat with a knife, the person who got his throat slit must be killed? Fentian did not quite understand, so he gave an example. That's right. Good people will not be able to trigger his killing intent. If they are killed, they have a reason to be killed. All right, clean up a place for him in the divine capital. It's about time. I have to give this senior uncle whom I haven't met yet a gift. King Yawu said to Fentian. Chapter 1765. Not to mention that he can now, even if he can't, I still have to recognize him. Your martial uncle's only disciple, I have to take care of him. King Yawu said. Disciple understands. Fentian nodded. Actually, you and him have the opposite master. You practice sword techniques, but I practice spear techniques. He practiced spear techniques, but he inherited your martial uncle's sword techniques. King Yawu shook his head. After explaining, King Yawu waved his hand at Fentian. Although I haven't seen you before, master must be right. Giving you a mansion can't be bad. Your character is not good, but you still have to give a domineering name. After leaving Yawa Mountain, Fentian muttered and arrived at a mansion in Divine Capital. It was a mansion with gardens. Huang Shang, get out here! Fentian shouted in front of the mansion. Following Fentian's shout, a yellow-robed old man flew out. Commander Fentian, why have you come to my humble place? The old man who came out had shock in his eyes because Fentian's name was too famous in Divine Capital. He was the killing god, and every time he appeared he would clean up a force in Divine Capital. Nothing much, I'm just here to take your head. Fentian said and drew his sword. The sword was the Big Dipper sword. There were 7 shining stars on the 4-feet-long blade. Following the flash of light, Fentian's domain and attack were released. Earth, water, wind, fire, lightning, light, and darkness. 7 types of elemental light burst out. Although they were only 7 types of ordinary elemental light, they had perfectly fused together. 7th level domain. After the domain exploded, the Big Dipper sword in Fentian's hand trembled, and the sword aura began to cut inside the domain. The domain that Huang Shang hurriedly supported was immediately shattered. His body was hit by several swords, and then more and more sword aura slashed past. Huang Shang's body was full of holes, and then it collapsed. From the beginning to the end, Huang Shang was killed in an instant. Huang Shang did not curse as it was only his clone that was killed. If he dared to curse, then his original body would not be able to live, and the force he belonged to would be eradicated. He was clear about this. Everyone in the mansion, listen up. Get out of here now. If you come back, die. Fentian roared. Who in the mansion dared to stay after their leader was killed? They didn't even dare to pack up and scattered like birds and beasts. Looking at the mansion, Fentian thought for a moment, then with a flash, he blocked a deacon of the city lord's mansion. He did not care what the deacon did, and directly brought him to the mansion. Here are 200,000 Saint Spirit stones. Renovate this place and change the environment. Spend all of it. Don't leave a single Saint Spirit stone behind. Look after this place until someone comes to take it, Fentian said. Lord Commander, don't worry. This subordinate will handle it well. The deacon bowed. He knew about Fentian. After that, just as he was about to leave, Fentian, who had walked a few steps, turned around, removed the signboard and replaced it with a new one. Sir, what should we name the new plaque? The deacon asked. Night Moon Villa. He had been to the Misty Imperial Court before and knew that Night Sorrow's residence in the Misty Imperial Court was called Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow and the rest stayed in the Tianhuang city for a few more days. After failing to catch Xu Chaohe, the great demon king suggested that they go to the divine capital. That's the real world. This place is a little desolate, the great demon king said. But there are some things that we have to pay attention to. There are a few unscrupulous people in the divine capital. We're fine. Even if they want to kill us, we have the ability to protect ourselves. However, Night Sorrow is different. That means that when we reach the divine capital, we have to know what we're doing. Once we're there, we have to pay a visit to the 7th Elder, Pu Luo said. Are you talking about that murderous Fentian? The people we're going to take care of are those with bad morals. Without the City Lord's mansion's order, he won't do anything, the great demon king said. They had their own forces in the divine capital, so they knew the city well. That's it then. Let's go, Lin Miao Miao said. Said Lin Piao Miao. She also wanted to see Yishan make a name for himself. The Tianhuang city was like this, but the divine capital was a different space. Before leaving, Night Sorrow planned to pay a visit to Lu Qi and tell him about his trip to the divine capital. Lu Qi had been to the ethereal imperial city, and Yi Shang had seen him before. They were familiar with each other, so he had to say goodbye before leaving. Furthermore, he had caused a huge ruckus in the heavenly desolate city, so he had to leave an explanation. In the tower, Night Sorrow saw Lu Qi. The Grand Elder was there too. Night Sorrow, you're here. Lu Qi greeted with a smile. Night Sorrow greets the Grand Elder and Seventh Elder. Night Sorrow bowed to the Grand Elder and Lu Qi. Let's sit down and talk. You're here to see us. Seems like you're done and are about to leave, the Grand Elder said. Great Elder, it seems like you're a little angry. Yi Shang is here to make things clear. Yi Shang did cause trouble, but he didn't cause trouble for good people. The people he caused trouble for were all people with bad characters and bad records. Yi Shang revealed his main purpose. I know, I understand. It's a good thing. At least there's a change in Yu Chu. He volunteered to guard the passage between the human race and the foreign races. The others will be cautious and won't dare to do anything, the Grand Elder said after looking at Night Sorrow. The Grand Elder is not annoyed. Night Sorrow is relieved. Night Sorrow is here to bid farewell to the two elders. Night Sorrow stood up and bowed to the Grand Elder and Seventh Elder again. Sit down first. There's no rush, the Grand Elder waved his hand. Night Sorrow looked at the Grand Elder and Seventh Elder before sitting down again. You guys are going to the divine capital, right? But in 5 years, you have to come back. 5 years later, the 100 Race Alliance will be selecting the first vanguard. I want you to participate, the Grand Elder said. 5C1 orders. I can't. I don't have the strength to take on such a big responsibility, Night Sorrow refused without thinking. Because there were crouching tigers and hidden dragons in Tianhuang City. Not to mention the human elders, they were all experts. There were also many commanders. These commanders were all very strong. Lin Piao Miao and the Great Demon King were both commanders. There is a limit to who can fight for the vanguard position. Only cultivators under the Emperor rank can fight for this position. This position has been vacant for a while. Although there have been deaths, we humans have never given up this position. We have always fought for it. The Great Elder said. Below the Emperor rank, wouldn't a 6-star Emperor rank be able to kill me easily? Night Sorrow looked at the Grand Elder. 5 years is a short time, but it's also a long time. I have confidence in you, the Grand Elder said. The warriors of our human race, even if they knew they would die in battle, they would never retreat. As the virtuous emperor of the human race, would you retreat? I was once the first vanguard of the human race. Lu Qi looked at Night Sorrow. Let me know when the time comes. Night Sorrow looked at Lu Qi and nodded. Chapter 1766. The Peerless Sword Emperor has an inheritance for you, but he's a sword cultivator. You can only learn spear techniques from him. I specialize in spear techniques. Take this spear manual and study it. It might be helpful to you. The Grand Elder took out a spear manual and handed it to Night Sorrow. Grand Elder. Holding the spear manual, Night Sorrow was stunned. This was an inheritance. Lu Qi and the others had to call him Senior Peerless Sword Emperor, but the Great Elder didn't. This was because he was someone from the same era and had lived until now. He was a true giant of the human race, a true almighty. His inheritance was something that many people dreamed of. Take it. This is the Grand Elder's hard work. We have to make the best use of it. Lu Qi nodded. After you go to the divine capital, go and see the Seventh Elder. The Grand Elder got up and left. My mansion in the divine capital is called the Sword Mansion. You can go to the City Lord Mansion and find me there, Lu Qi said to Yishan. After Night Sorrow left the tower, he returned to his courtyard. Things are done. Let's go. Night Sorrow said to the people waiting. Then, they took the Imperial Teleportation Array and arrived at the divine capital. Let's go to my residence first, Lin Piaomiao said after exiting the teleportation array. The group agreed. Although they all had their own territories, they could talk when they were together. They had been working hard and cultivating hard. Now that they had a like-minded partner, they were happy. After arriving at Lin Piaomiao's residence, Night Sorrow drank a few sips of tea with everyone and left. After asking around, Night Sorrow arrived at the divine capital. However, he was stopped by the guards. The divine capital's city lord residence wasn't a place that anyone could enter. Night Sorrow said that he wanted to see Elder Lu Qi. The guard went in to report. When he came out, he said that Night Sorrow wasn't there. After asking the guards of the city lord's mansion, Yi Shang found Lu Qi's sword mansion. You came quickly. Night Sorrow had just arrived when Lu Qi appeared. Night Sorrow greets 7th Elder. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Lu Qi. Lu Qi smiled as he brought Night Sorrow into the mansion. An attendant brewed tea for him. Lu Qi introduced the situation and rules of God's capital to Night Sorrow. Currently, Elder Yan Qi was in charge of running the divine capital. He was mainly in charge of the city lord's mansion's tax collection and business operations. As for upholding the rules, it was the city guard army. The city guard army had 2 commanders. Their way of upholding the rules was very simple, which was to kill. If you don't touch my bottom line, I'll ignore you. If you touch my bottom line, I'll wipe you out. No one cares about things like fighting for territory or killing for revenge. However, if you commit crimes and lose your morals, you'll be in trouble. This rule is really cruel, Night Sorrow said. This was the first time he had heard of such a rule. This is the only way to produce experts, isn't it? This is also King Youwu's character, Lu Qi said with a smile. There's a reason why it exists. Don't worry, 7th Elder. I won't do anything immoral, Night Sorrow said with a smile. He didn't want Lu Qi to worry. Know your bottom line and do what you need to do. There won't be any problems. God's capital suits you, Lu Qi said with a smile. He knew that even if Night Sorrow continued to smash bricks, the city lord's mansion wouldn't punish him severely. Thank you for your advice, 7th Elder. Night Sorrow will go back first. After drinking a cup of tea, Night Sorrow stood up. He wasn't here to ask for help. He was here to pay a visit. After reminding Night Sorrow, Lu Qi sent Night Sorrow out of the mansion. After leaving Lu Qi's mansion, Night Sorrow walked around the city. Then, he returned to Lin Piaomiao's mansion. In a waterside pavilion, Ruisi held a large piece of white paper in his hand. It was filled with names. Some of the names were marked with X's and their misdeeds were noted. Behind every name on the list, there was an evaluation. It was an evaluation that Pu Luo and the others agreed with. You're back. We're studying the list. It's all the famous people in God's capital. However, we can't do anything to some of them. We can only eliminate them first and find someone who can be dealt with, Pu Luo said. We can't do anything to them. Let's put them aside for now. Night Sorrow nodded. Some things couldn't be done by force. At this time, the guards of Lin Piaomiao's mansion came to report that someone wanted to see Night Sorrow outside. Fen Tian. Pu Luo's eyes were cautious. Before the guards arrived, everyone had already detected Fen Tian's arrival. Pu Luo and the Great Demon King looked at each other and stood up. Night Sorrow, the situation is not good. Lin Piaomiao's face was also very cold. Then, the voices of Lin Piaomiao and the others resounded in Night Sorrow's mind. They were communicating with Night Sorrow using their soul power. They did not want Fen Tian, who was outside the mansion, to hear them. Their intentions were more or less the same. This Fen Tian was not to be trifled with. Not to mention his own strength, he had a powerful backer, Marshal King Ye, behind him. His purpose in God's capital was to kill. I didn't expect such a person to come knocking on my door when I just arrived in God's capital. But it doesn't matter. Night Sorrow smiled at them. He stood up and walked out of the mansion. Fen Tian stood outside Lin Piaomiao's mansion. Naturally, he could see everything in the mansion. When the few of them stood there in silence, he naturally knew that they were communicating with their soul power. Noticing that Night Sorrow shook his head at Pu Luo and the others, Fentian knew that Pu Luo and the others had told Night Sorrow about his identity. Thus Fentian knew his own situation. He did not have a good impression in the hearts of the people in God's capital. No one was willing to see him appear. Night Sorrow arrived at the entrance of the mansion and cupped his hands towards Fentian. Night Sorrow greets Commander Fentian. I wonder why Commander is looking for Night Sorrow? Nothing much. I'll bring you to a place. Fentian looked at Lin Piaomiao and the others who were walking out of the mansion. Go to a place? All right. Night Sorrow nodded. Fentian and Lin Piaomiao looked at each other. Lin Piaomiao, the great demon lord, and Fentian were all ranked at the top of this year's divine demon list. If you're interested, we can go together. After looking at each other for a while, Fentian said and turned to leave. The few of them flew in the city. After a while, they arrived at the mansion that Fentian had prepared. It was now the Night Moon Villa. Night Moon Villa? Looking at the signboard, Night Sorrow was stunned for a moment. Night Moon Villa was the signboard of his residence in the Misty Empire. At this moment, the City Lord's mansion enforcer who was guarding the Night Moon Villa bowed to them. Fentian was the commander of the City Lord's mansion and he knew him. Although Lin Piaomiao, the great demon lord, Pu Luo, Ruisi, and Yu Zhu were not from the City Lord's mansion, they were still the leaders of the forces in God's capital. They were all very famous and he naturally knew them. You can go back. There's nothing for you to do here. Fentian waved his hand and entered the mansion. Although Night Sorrow was confused, he followed him in. He did not know what Fentian wanted to do. Fentian did not say anything. He brought Night Sorrow and the others to walk around the mansion. Then, they went to the main hall of the mansion and waved his hand to dismiss the maids in the main hall. Night Sorrow, how is this mansion? Very good. I just don't know why it's called the Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow asked. Because from today onwards, this will be your Night Moon Villa. Fentian said. This place doesn't belong to Huang Shang. Why is it Night Sorrow's? The great demon lord asked. Chapter 1767. Who gave me the gift? Night Sorrow asked, puzzled. You will know when the time comes, but it's not mine. I will also give you a gift, but I haven't prepared it yet. Fentian said. Night Sorrow was puzzled. He only knew a few people from the celestial realm who came from the desolate heaven city. It was hard to understand why someone from the divine capital would give him a mansion with a garden. If you like it, it's fine as long as you think it's suitable. Fentian looked at the pondering Night Sorrow and said, King Yowu only asked him to clean up the place and give it as a gift. He did not say anything else. If someone dares to give it to me, then I dare to accept it. Thank you, Commander Fentian. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Fentian. It's nothing, I just killed someone once. Fentian shook his head. Looking at Night Sorrow, Fentian thought of what King Yowu said. Before they met, Fentian did not have a good impression of Night Sorrow. He felt that although Night Sorrow was talented, he was too good at tormenting others. But when he saw Yi Shang in person, he realized that Yi Shang did indeed have a unique charm. His every movement was natural, and he did not reject or be on guard against him just because of his reputation. I'm afraid I can't kill for you, Commander. Today, I can only give you a jar of wine to express my gratitude. Night Sorrow took out a jar of wine and handed it to Fentian. See, since you've just arrived, you have many things to take care of. This commander shall not disturb you any further. Another day, when you've stabilized, this seat will come and find you again. Fentian took Yi Shang's wine, nodded to Yi Shang, and left. He did not let Yi Shang send him off. Walking to the front of the mansion, Fentian stopped. He felt that this disciple of his martial uncle was not bad. With a wave of his arm, Sword Chi appeared. On the bottom right corner of the signboard, the words Night Moon Villa were engraved. Night Sorrow slapped his forehead. He still couldn't figure out who would be so generous as to gift him a manor with a garden. Great Demon Lord, what is the meaning of this? Pu Luo looked at the Great Demon Lord. They had all detected Fentian's actions after he walked out of the mansion. Can you be any dumber? What he means is that this Night Moon Villa is under his protection. Whoever is not convinced can try attacking him, the great demon king said as he lay down on a lounge chair in the hall. It's not strange for Fention to kill people. He has killed many people, but this is the first time he has protected someone, right? Yu Zhu also did not understand. He's too good at pretending. Are you sure Night Sorrow has nothing to do with this guy? Pu Luo also found a recliner to lean on and rocked back and forth. I was born in the Boundless region and then mingled in the Misty Dynasty. I didn't even know about the desolate Heaven City and the Divine Capital City. How can I have anything to do with Fention? Night Sorrow said. Fention said that this greeting gift is not his. How many people can order him around? Misty Meow, who had been silent all this while, said. The City Lord's mansion. If the Elders Guild wants to clean up any forces, they can order him around. If it's a person who wants to ask him to do something, not many people can do it. Not to mention his personal strength, his background is too strong, the great demon lord said. Yeah. He is the only disciple of King Youwu. With this identity, who can order him around? Ruisi also muttered. King Youwu. Maybe after knowing that Night Sorrow is the virtuous emperor and that Night Sorrow punishes evil and promotes good, he gave Night Sorrow a luxurious place to stay. Yu Zhu, who was studying a jade sculpture in the hall, said. Sister, you think too much. We have never seen King Youwu before. This kind of thing can't attract his attention. Unless some big shot from the Demon Wing clan comes, he won't be interested in showing himself. Ruisi reached out and took the jade sculpture in Yu Zhu's hand. Then, with a move of his finger, the jade sculpture disappeared. Hurry up and spit it out. This is our territory. Are you trying to steal something? Pu Luo glared at Ruisi. It's a habit of mine to deal with those bastards a few days ago. Whenever I see something good, I want to take it. Ruisi looked at Night Sorrow embarrassedly. Take it if you like it. Night Sorrow waved his hand. Ruisi was embarrassed. He took out the jade sculpture, wiped it with his sleeve, and placed it back in its original position. Then, they discussed and decided that Night Sorrow's mansion would be their base. There were no trustworthy servants, so Lin Piaomiao would make the arrangements. Pu Luo and the others drank tea and chatted. They had set a goal. They would go to Lu Donghui's territory later to cause trouble. Actually, they could do it now, but they were used to doing it when the moon was high and the wind was dark. Night Sorrow was deep in thought. He couldn't figure out what was going on. Lin Piaomiao came to Night Sorrow's side. Are you still thinking? Actually, there's no need to go through so much trouble. First, we can confirm that Fention doesn't have any ill intentions. As for the favor, there will be a chance to return it. There are some developments that are no longer within my control. Originally, I just wanted to cultivate steadily and give the Chaos Realm a stable place. I wanted to slowly step into a higher realm. But now, I'm walking step by step. I can't even imagine it. Perhaps one day, I'll have to return to the 9 Domains world and lie there, said Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow, don't think like that. This is the day of passion. If you go back, there won't be any fun. After hearing Night Sorrow's words, Pu Luo, who was leaning on the recliner, sat up straight. That's right. If you want to get a wife and start a family, we'll help you arrange it, the great demon king said. Night Sorrow already has a few wives. Does he still need you to arrange it? Lin Piaomiao said stiffly. Then who are you? Yu Zhu asked curiously. Mind your own business first. Lin Piaomiao glared at Yu Zhu. In terms of status in the human race, Pu Luo was the highest. He was the enforcement clan elder. The others were clan elders, but their strength was about the same. No one talked about status because they didn't care about it. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao apologetically. Because of this, Lin Piaomiao was a little embarrassed. Night Sorrow knew about the relationship between the two. Lin Piaomiao and Sikong Chuyu could be said to have reached an agreement with the Yi family. It was just that it wasn't on the table yet. Lin Piaomiao was a clan elder of the human race. She was the number 1 on the Celestial Demon ranking, the Misty Battle Empress. Yu Zhu, this is what you don't understand. The world of love can't be measured by this, Pu Luo said. You sound like you understand. So what if you're the enforcement clan elder? Love isn't your field of expertise, Yu Zhu said. You're interrupting my thoughts. Night Sorrow, I've been thinking about the mansion. Who's the one behind it? Pu Luo said. You sound so serious. You sound like you know. Rui Si glanced at Pu Luo. In Tianhuang City, every enforcement clan elder had a few assistants. Xiao Jun's assistants were Gu Qi, Elder Ling Shu, and Bai Zongyuan. Rui Si and Yu Zhu were Pu Luo's assistants, so the three of them had a good relationship. Chapter 1768. Who are you talking about? If it was before, I would have tolerated it. But now, we are all elders of the human race. Big Demon King stared at Pu Luo. Okay, you are not small fries anymore. Now, let's talk about what you don't know. First of all, you don't know the relationship between Peerless Sword King and King Yowu. They are sworn brothers. If King Yowu recognizes Night Sorrow, then Night Sorrow will have to call him uncle or uncle. Pu Luo told them what he knew. In other words, murderous embryo Fan Tian should be Yishang's senior brother? Yu Zhu was astonished. That should be it. Otherwise, when has that guy ever been polite to others? He even gave him a mansion? But this mansion is so extravagant. It's even more extravagant than ours. If I knew this mansion was so extravagant, I would have killed Huang Shang earlier. Rui Si took a pen and drew a line on the name list in his arms, crossing out Huang Shang who was originally on it. So, Night Sorrow's backer in God's capital is very strong? Big Demon King looked at Night Sorrow as if he was looking at a rare animal. If King Yowu recognizes him, then he has a strong backer. But who is King Yowu? We are emperors, but if he wants to attack us, we have to run away. We might not even be able to do that. It's not easy to get his approval, Pu Luo said. Is the difference that big? Night Sorrow was confused. Big, very big. Every 10 billion years, an emperor's trial will happen. It's called the 9 trials of the heavenly path. Then, every 100 billion years, there will be an emperor's trial. According to the rules of the human race, those who pass the emperor's trial will become elders. Those who pass the emperor's trial will become law enforcement elders. Me and Lu Qi are exceptions. We are young, and we haven't passed the emperor's trial, but we are strong enough to fight against an emperor's trial. Elder Lin and Big Demon King are elders, but they didn't pass the emperor's trial because they are strong. The Peerless Sword Emperor, the Great Patriarch, and King Yowu are all from the same era. They have passed the 7 emperor tribulations. How can the gap between their strength and ours, who haven't even passed the first emperor tribulation, not be huge? 7 emperors trial, 7 epochs, 700 billion years? What does that mean? Then, there would be many experts in the tribulation of 6 emperors and 5 emperors. That's too deep. Night Sorrow. It's not like that. Currently, our human race doesn't have such a cultivator. 7 eras ago, when the human race was at its peak, there were several heaven-defying geniuses. They had always been the mainstay of the human race. After that, there were no more powerful geniuses. There were some who crossed the first sovereign tribulation, but not many who crossed the second sovereign tribulation, and none who crossed the third sovereign tribulation. However, those geniuses defied the heavens and fought against the demon-winged clan. Senior Unparalleled Sword Emperor didn't pass the tribulation of the 7th Emperor, not because he wasn't strong enough. According to the ancient records, he cultivated a heaven-defying battle technique to increase his strength. He was envied by the heavens and his body was destroyed. Pu Luo said in a low voice. He was the pride of the human race. Of course, he was also a sinner in the hearts of some ignorant people. After Yan Wushuang disappeared, the emperor's seal was also outside the human race. They wrote a glorious record for the human race. They are seniors worthy of respect. Night Sorrow poured a cup of tea, raised it to the sky and poured it on the ground. Envied by the heavens? What's going on? Lin Piaomiao was puzzled. The law enforcement patriarch has some authority. He can read some ancient books. Actually, Peerless Sword King didn't pass the 7th Emperor's trial. He touched the taboo of the heavenly Tao. The heavenly Tao sent Emperor Realm experts. It's a god-destroying tribulation that only appears in one reincarnation. He actually had the strength to pass the 9th Emperor's trial. Pu Luo said in a low voice. Then he's the strongest of the human race? The great demon king's eyes were full of light. How would I know that? But I do know that the guardian of the heavenly wasteland city is very strong. After he rose in the last tribulation of the human tribe, all the experts of the Demon Wing clan who came to invade, no matter what level they were at, were all defeated. Their clones were all killed. Pu Luo said. The city lord of the heavenly desolate city? Lin Piaomiao asked. Yes, the strongest of the human race. Even King Yowu would agree. Pu Luo nodded. Then I have a question. What is the level of Tran Hung, the author of the Celestial Demon List? What is his position in the human race? Night Sorrow asked the middle-aged man in a loose robe. I don't know. His position in the human race is very high. He doesn't communicate with others. Even the law enforcement patriarch has only seen him a few times. In fact, many people have guessed that Tran Hung is the city lord of the heavenly desolate city. The city lord of the heavenly desolate city has appeared a few times. I have seen him, but he was just an energy clone. I couldn't see his real face. Pu Luo shook his head helplessly. This thing is too deep. We can't touch it yet. Yu Zhu said. We are indeed trash in front of them, but we will go against the flow. They will create an era, and the current era will be ours. Countless years later, the future generations will talk about us like this. I, the great demon king, am undefeated. I will continue my legend of being undefeated. You, the great demon king, can do it. I, Lin Piaomiao, can do it too. Lin Piaomiao said. I, Night Sorrow, have never been defeated before. Then we will create a legend that belongs to us. Night Sorrow raised his right hand above his head and clenched it together. The few people present didn't know that this day would be the beginning of an epic. The future generations would call it the beginning of the gods' era. Invincibility began from this moment. It seems like we are short of people. Fentian appeared in the hall. Why are you here again? Great Demon King looked at Fentian and asked. Yi Shang, I came to find you because I wanted to tell you that if you have time, you can exchange your cultivation experiences with this commander. This commander has a peerless spear manual. Fentian looked at Yi Shang and said, what kind of spear art can be called peerless? You should forget about it. Great Demon King said. What do you know? Master is practicing the spear. Can his spear art be called peerless? You are above me on the Divine Demon list this time. I really want to see what level you are at. Fentian looked at Great Demon King. His eyes were filled with fighting spirit. Come. I also want to see what kind of fighting strength the number 1 killer of Divine Capital has. Great Demon King was a little angry. No one could provoke him, and he had to submit to the provocation. Another day, another day. Pu Luo said to mediate. On the latest chapter of PT. I am sorry, I have the inheritance of the Sword Dao, but it belongs to Master. I will not use Master's inheritance to make any transactions with others. Night Sorrow looked at Fentian and said, you will exchange it one day. Fentian looked at Night Sorrow and shook his head. At this moment, his impression of Night Sorrow had improved once again. This was because he was determined, and he was determined. You are very confident, but I still insist. Night Sorrow looked at Fentian and smiled. Chapter 1769. Do you think it's a rotten brick that can be picked up anywhere? Pu Luo glanced at Fentian and said, deep enmity? There's no need for that. If you want to hit the brick, wouldn't it be good to have one more person? Are you more familiar with the Divine Capital City than me? Is your information more comprehensive than mine? Fentian said, your master is the city lord. If you follow us and mess around, won't Senior Yowu clean up the house? The Great Demon King asked. This commander's master said that I can do whatever I want, even if it's wrong. If it's really wrong, he will bear it with me. This commander's master is not as shallow as you think. Fentian glanced at the great demon lord and said, Fentian, actually, don't ask us. The core of our team is him. Our divine tools, without Night Sorrow's help, are actually just rotten bricks. Pu Luo said to Fentian, how about this? We can't be careless about this matter. Let us think about it and give you an answer in a few days. Also, I want to ask, is this mansion the intention of Senior Yowu? Night Sorrow looked at Fentian and asked, you guessed it, so be it. Fentian left. He did not want to talk about it anymore, mainly because he did not want to talk about Guan Yuyawu. After Fentian left, Night Sorrow and the others drank a jar of wine and set off. They went to Lu Donghui's territory and went straight to Lu Donghui's mansion. This time, it was different from the time in the Heaven Wasteland City. In the Heaven Wasteland City, they had to consider the interference of the Grand Elder and the 7 clan elders. They had to end the battle quickly and not let the situation escalate. However, in the Divine Capital City, whoever had the ability could fight. Of course, if you relied on your cultivation to commit crimes and bully people, and were complained to the City Lord's mansion, then you would be dead. Night Sorrow and the others touched Lu Donghui's mansion. At this time, Lu Donghui was drinking and throwing a tantrum. He had lost a lot of face this time, and he would not dare to go to the Heaven Wasteland City in the future. If he dared to go, Night Sorrow and the others would really teach him a lesson, and he would continue to be slapped in the face. Although Lu Donghui was angry, there was nothing he could do. Among the 6 of them, he was the only one who could defeat Night Sorrow. So what if he could defeat Night Sorrow? Pu Luo, the Great Devil King, and the other 5 people obviously had Night Sorrow as their core. The first time the brick hit someone was when Night Sorrow hit Li Zongyuan's 2 disciples. While Lu Donghui was drinking and cursing, Pu Luo and the others rushed into the hall of Lu Donghui's mansion from all directions. Then, their domains erupted, suppressing Lu Donghui. After Night Sorrow released his domain, he used Void Step to appear above Lu Donghui. When Pu Luo, Great Demon King, and Lin Piaomiao's bricks hit him, he came down from above. The human emperor's seal directly hit Lu Donghui's head, causing Lu Donghui to fall to the ground. This caused Rui Si and Yu Zhu's bricks to miss. The Great Demon King went to take Lu Donghui's storage ring, Pu Luo went to take Lu Donghui's armor, and Lin Piaomiao took everything valuable in the mansion. Soon, everything was done. The brick hitting was completed. Let's go! Pu Luo shouted. Before leaving, Yu Zhu bent down and gave Lu Donghui a smack on the face. Then, she followed Night Sorrow and the others back to the Night Moon Mansion. It's another exciting moment. Let's split the loot. Pu Luo smiled and handed the storage ring to Night Sorrow. The Great Demon King and Lin Piaomiao also handed the loot to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow, I have a few words to say. The Great Demon King said. Go ahead. Night Sorrow didn't know what the Great Demon King wanted to say. Let's conclude first. You, an emperor, can hit someone with a brick. What about the other 2? Emperor? Patriarch? Patriarch of the human race? Just watch like idiots. Cut it in half. The resources must be cut in half to stimulate their motivation. The Great Demon King pointed at Rui Si and Yu Zhu. You guys are so fast. Where can you find the brick? Rui Si was speechless. Lu Donghui's head was only so big. If Pu Luo, the Great Demon King, Lin Piaomiao, and Night Sorrow were to hit him, there would be no place for him. Fast hands get nothing. Don't you know this? You lack a positive attitude. The Great Demon King said, I agree with you, but you can't cut mine in half. The resources don't matter, but this is about face. Didn't I hit him? I was afraid that he would wake up, so I hit him with a brick. Yu Zhu said, that makes sense. Your brick was quite ruthless. The Great Demon King nodded. Hey, Rui Si, your attitude isn't positive enough. I support you to cut it in half. Pu Luo smiled. You guys are ruthless. I admit it. I didn't hit him. Rui Si lowered his head and rubbed his eyes. You first. I'm just kidding. Let's split it evenly. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Since you're aware of this, let's continue to split it evenly. The Great Demon King nodded. He didn't really want to make things difficult for Rui Si. He just felt that Ruei-si couldn't keep up with the pace and wanted to encourage him. After all, Ruei-si wasn't used to this kind of thing. Really? Then I'll hit the brick twice next time. I won't fall behind you. Ruei-si smiled. He didn't care about the resources, but it would be awkward if he didn't get a share. Soon, the resources were transferred to their storage rinks. Everyone, I'll make a statement here. I won't let go of my responsibility next time. Ruei-si looked at Night Sorrow and the others seriously. Yes, it's good that you have this attitude. We're trying to change the culture of the celestial realm. If the humans are better internally, then they'll have more fighting power. Pu Luo looked at Ruei-si and said. Ruei-si nodded. He trusted Pu Luo the most. Night Sorrow, what do you think about Fentian? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow. Fentian is very straightforward. There's no evil in his eyes, but I don't know much about other things. Night Sorrow said. Great Demon King, what do you think? Pu Luo looked at the Great Demon King. I think it's okay. It'll hurt his face to reject him directly. Besides, there are a lot of scums in the divine capital. It's the same in other cities. Looking at the big picture, the humans need to punish those who say good things. It's okay to have more people. We can divide the work differently in the future so that people like Ruei-si can't get it. The Great Demon King said. I think what the Great Demon King said makes sense. Besides, I'm sure that Fentian isn't an evil person. Night Sorrow said. How can you be sure? Yu Zhu looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I'll be disgusted if people with bad morals get close to me. If they're despicable, I might want to kill them. Night Sorrow said. At Yowu Mountain, Fentian was reporting to King Yowu about Night Sorrow. He already knew about Lu Donghue's incident. You think he's not bad? King Yowu asked. Master, he's not bad. He's young and full of heroic spirit. Moreover, he has the aura of a leader. He's the core of a team of 5 emperors, including Pu Luo, Fentian said. It seems like your master's junior was right. King Yowu nodded. Chapter 1770. That's normal. You know that he's your martial uncle's disciple, but he doesn't know your identity. How could he exchange insights with you? I'll talk to him after a while. A smile appeared on King Yowu's face. He was also gratified. The unparalleled Sword Emperor had never taken in a disciple in his life. It was a good thing that someone had accepted the inheritance. He knew what level the unparalleled Sword Emperor had reached in the past. Disciple understands. Fentian nodded. He's your junior brother. You can get closer to him. There can only be one Merit Emperor in a reincarnation, and he's the only one in this reincarnation. In this regard, so what if he's an almighty human? Even the cultivators of the tribulation of the 7 emperors can't compare to him, not to mention that he still has the human emperor's seal. Those who gather around him will all have luck on their bodies. King Yowu said. Disciple understands what master means. Fentian understood what King Yowu meant. He hoped that he could get closer to Night Sorrow. Alright, go. I have something to do recently. I'll go see him later. King Yowu instructed Fentian. Fentian left. He understood a little more, so he needed to digest it. Pu Luo began to refine the brick again. He hoped that this golden brick could bring out a new atmosphere and civilization of the human clan, so he was especially serious and pious. After refining it, he manually engraved the Tao Te Ching. Actually, Pu Luo could have refined the Tao Te Ching on the golden brick when he was refining it, but he did not do so. After Pu Luo finished refining the brick, the few of them moved again. They also slapped the seal that had run to the divine capital. What made everyone's eyes pop out was that Ruei-si had changed his strategy. With so many people, he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to snatch it, so he directly threw the golden brick out. The brick even had the tendons of a demon beast on it, turning it into a flying brick. The seal was more unlucky because it was Ruei-si's first time throwing a brick. He did not control his strength well. When he was knocked unconscious by the Great Demon King's brick and had no defensive ability, Ruei-si's brick directly smashed his head open and smashed it. With his head smashed, the seal could still escape with his divine infant. This clone had fallen. The Great Demon King, Pu Luo, Night Sorrow and the others dodged quickly. Otherwise, the red and white splashed all over their bodies. Do you know how to play? You won't get any of the resources this time. Without waiting for the Demon King and Night Sorrow to speak, Pu Luo roared. His full strength was not enough to smash the brick, and he had to retreat quickly. I'll just smash you to death with a brick. When have we ever injected energy into someone? The great Demon King roared at Reese. They packed up their spoils of war and returned to Night Sorrow's mansion. Night Sorrow, aren't you going to say something? Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow. Reese made a mistake this time, so don't blame him. However, we're doing this to establish a culture and to save people. There's no need to kill people, nor is it appropriate, Night Sorrow said. It's my fault this time. I was too excited. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to hit it, so I poured my energy into it, Ruiz said. Let's not talk about it this time, Night Sorrow said. You missed and killed him? At this time, Fention appeared in the Night Moon Villa. I did miss, but I don't need you to laugh at me. Reese's anger rose. He was already a little annoyed, so when he heard Fention's words, he was a little angry. Why are you so angry? Just don't miss next time. Fention found a seat and sat down. Reese, it's nothing. That Ban is not a good person. So what if he's dead? It's just a clone anyway, Night Sorrow said to Reese. Reese nodded at Night Sorrow. He did feel a little guilty. We can't be too hasty. We have to slow down the pace. This way, we can pressure people with bad morals to change themselves. If we can influence their behavior, our goal will be achieved. Also, I need time to cultivate, Night Sorrow said. That's right. If the culture is established, it will be a great service to the human race. If we really want to smash them one by one, we won't be able to do it. Pu Luo supported Night Sorrow's opinion. Where's my guy? Fention looked at Night Sorrow and asked. Night Sorrow took out the brick refined by Pu Luo and threw it to Fention. He had already helped to inject the human Emperor Qi into it. After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow went to a pavilion and began to study artifact refining. He wanted to change the time acceleration of the 8-Dragon Cauldron. After Night Sorrow's space-time attribute entered the 2-star Emperor realm, his understanding of space-time deepened, so he was able to evolve the 8-Dragon Cauldron again. It took Night Sorrow 6 days to complete the evolution of the array inside the 8-Dragon Cauldron, and the time acceleration reached 24 times. While drinking tea, Pu Luo asked about Night Sorrow's refining situation. Night Sorrow didn't hide anything and told him about the situation of the 8-Dragon Cauldron. Very good. Your level is considered to be in the upper echelons of the Monarch-level Royal Masters. You're already close to the Emperor-level Royal Masters. The spatial magic treasure refined by Emperor-level Royal Masters is only 30 or so times, not 40 times. Pu Luo said. He was an Emperor-level Royal Master. The team's bricks were refined by him. Then won't you help Night Sorrow refine it? Yuju said. I really can't do that. His thing has an artifact spirit. Only the master can refine it while communicating with the artifact spirit. If I refine it, I can increase the time acceleration, but it will hurt the artifact spirit. That's not worth it, Pu Luo said. So that's how it is. 20 times is a bit too little, Yuju said. My true body has a high-grade time acceleration magic treasure. My doppelganger has over 20 times the speed. That should be enough. My cauldron is right here. While I'm inside, if there's any movement, you can shake the cauldron and I'll come out. Let's start the auction together. Night Sorrow placed the 8-Dragon Cauldron outside the building. Night Sorrow planned to raise his main body's level and his clone's combat power. He planned to find time to study the spear manual given to him by the Grand Elder. As for Yen Wushuang's inheritance, he planned to put it aside for now. Once his spear level was high enough, it would be much easier to learn other techniques. You're different from us. Our room for improvement is limited, but you're in a period of rapid improvement. Pu Luo nodded. That's you guys. I'm using the Ash God Stone to cultivate. My level and strength have a lot of room for improvement, the great Demon King said. Forever 2 free reading 1 little N says B, you're awesome. Go for the Emperor's trial, Go for the emperor's trial, Yuzhu said. I will. Don't worry. Don't be jealous when the time comes. The great demon king laughed. The emperor's trial and emperor's trial came according to time. If one's strength and level were high enough, the heavenly trial would also come. If one's strength exceeded that of the 9 emperors' trial, then the god-destroying trial that Yan Wushuang went through would come. Chapter 1771. 4y6g equals head, d hair, d, so that's how it is. I thought I wouldn't be able to reach that level if I wasn't old enough. So it's possible. Night Sorrow said. The tribulation of the Emperor realm is terrifying. The probability of death is 80 to 90%. That's why almost no one initiates the tribulation. Let's put it this way, Sect Elder Lin and Great Demon King can trigger the tribulation with all their strength. But there's no need for that. They're still young and have enough time to accumulate. I can trigger the tribulation too. I can even trigger the Emperor tribulation. But I can still accumulate. So I won't trigger it. Pu Luo explained to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow understands. Night Sorrow nodded to Pu Luo. He felt that after getting to know Pu Luo and Great Demon King, he had gained a lot of insight. When things are more or less settled, I'll try to trigger the Emperor tribulation. Lin Piaomiao said. You're already at this level? Rue Si looked at Lin Piaomiao and Great Demon King in surprise. Sect Elder Lin, Great Demon King, don't let loyalty get the better of you. That Wu Dongtian was so talented. Why did he fall? It's already impressive that he passed the 5 heavenly tribulations in one go. He could have slowly accumulated his strength. But he insisted on charging forward. In the end, he fell under the tribulation. Pu Luo said. Pu Luo, do you know that Commander Lin and I are obviously stronger than those sect elders? But we still have to listen to their orders. Because we haven't passed the Emperor tribulation. We lack experience. Last time, we knew that our strategy was wrong. But we still charged forward. We had to carry out the sect elders' orders. All these years, we've been holding back. Great Demon King said. If you want to contribute to the human race, you have to have the right status. I've been thinking the same thing all these years. Actually, I'm already confident about the 9 heavenly tribulations. I just haven't tried. Lin Piaomiao looked at Great Demon King. His words made her feel the same way. You two are personally recommended by the City Lord. You're also valued by the Grand Elder. Don't mess around. Pu Luo said to Lin Piaomiao and Great Demon King. I won't. Although I'm confident, I still want to wait. I want to see Night Sorrow. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow. We'll talk about it later. Night Sorrow understood what Lin Piaomiao meant. Everyone chatted for a while and then dispersed. Everyone had their own loft in the Night Moon Villa. Night Sorrow and Lin Piaomiao were in a loft. The two of them brewed a pot of tea and sat opposite each other. Big Sister Xian, don't rashly trigger the heavenly tribulation. Night Sorrow's eyes were filled with worry. In the past, I had already grasped it and planned to steadily break through, but you appeared, and I had room for improvement, and even obtained the heavenly blue wings. After obtaining the heavenly blue wings, I planned to familiarize myself with it before triggering the heavenly tribulation. However, my Dao heart began to waver. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and said, Then find a suitable time to inform my parents and inform my friends and family. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and said, There were some things that he didn't say but he understood. You've decided to marry me? Lin Piaomiao's emotions began to fluctuate. Night Sorrow nodded seriously. He knew that this matter was very important to Lin Piaomiao. But if I succeed, I will definitely marry you. Lin Piaomiao's face shone brightly. But Night Sorrow didn't understand. You just said that you want to marry me. I have the Dao heart, but marrying you is only suitable after the heavenly tribulation. If we aren't fated enough and fail the heavenly tribulation after we get married, that would be harming you. Lin Piaomiao said. The light on her face was the light of her Dao heart. No need. You are the peerless empress of the celestial realm. You can definitely do what you want. Tomorrow we will return to the 9 regions world. Night Sorrow shook his head and made his decision. What are you doing? Why are you in such a hurry? To an Emperor Realm cultivator, thousands of years are just a matter of an instant. There are some who can meditate for tens of thousands of years or even millions of years. You should cultivate first. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and smiled. The light on her face grew brighter and brighter. Then can you promise me that you won't attempt the heavenly tribulation? Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and said, Okay, I promise you. Lin Piaomiao smiled and said, nodding to Lin Piaomiao, Night Sorrow took out the Grand Elder's Spear Art book and started to study it. Spear, the king of weapons. The user must have the aura of a king. This was the general principle of spear arts. Grand Elder's Spear Art was the mixed element spear art. The foundation of spear arts was the basic spear art. When the basic spear art was cultivated to perfection, it could drive energy, the will of heaven and earth, and the power of the heavenly Tao. When the basic spear art was cultivated to perfection, it could merge with one's will and domain. At that time, every move and style would have boundless power. After studying the spear art, Night Sorrow held the blood Qilin evil-slaying spear and started to cultivate his spear art. Stab, chop, lift and slash were all basic techniques. In the past, Night Sorrow had the habit of cultivating the basic spear art every day. Therefore, the foundation of the basic spear art was very deep. Every move and style of the basic spear art was connected very skillfully. His goal was to cultivate the basic spear art to the point where there was no distinction between moves. After cultivating for 2 hours, Night Sorrow returned to the loft. Night Sorrow, what are you cultivating? The basic spear art? Lin Piaomiao, who was puzzled, asked. Yes, it is the foundation of the Grand Elder's mixed element spear art. The concept is very good. I have never thought of it before. Night Sorrow said. No wonder when you were cultivating just now, I felt a familiar feeling. There was a shadow of the battle between the Grand Elder and the Demon-Winged clan. You are cultivating the Grand Elder's spear art? Lin Piaomiao suddenly realized and looked at Night Sorrow in astonishment. Yes, before coming to Sky City, I went to see the 7th Elder. The Grand Elder gave me his spear art book. Night Sorrow nodded. This is too rare. You must know that after several eras, the Grand Elder has never accepted a disciple. No one could inherit his spear art. I didn't expect him to pass it on to you. It's no wonder. You are a spear artist and have a high aptitude. The Grand Elder cherishes talent, so he made this decision. Lin Piaomiao said. I know a little about the mixed element spear art, but I still need time to master it. Night Sorrow said. How is your original body? Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and asked. I am in a state of epiphany. The effects of the Destruction Origin Stone and Ash Divine Stone are very strong. The will of heaven and earth is very strong. After awakening, the destruction attribute should be able to enter the 2-star Emperor realm. The other attributes are also rapidly advancing. Sister Xian Air, you have the Void attribute. The Great Demon King gave me 2 Void Origin Stones. Use them first. Night Sorrow took out the Void Origin Stones from his storage ring. This was given to him by the Great Demon King after he came from the Ethereal Dynasty. Therefore, it had always been in the storage ring of his clone. No need. I have used many Void Origin Stones. There will be no effect if I use more. You are different. If you use them, your realm will rise faster. Lin Piaomiao shook her head. Sister Xian Air, what is the matter with the 100 Race Alliance's first vanguard? The Grand Elder asked me to return to Tianhuang City in 5 years to participate in the selection of the 100 Race Alliance's first vanguard. Night Sorrow said. Chapter 1772. Equals Hair, what opportunity? Night Sorrow asked. The opportunity to enter the Heaven Wasteland Tower. Only the first vanguard and first commander of the 100 Races Alliance have the qualification. However, after entering, everyone's opportunity is different, Lin Piaomiao said. What's the Heaven Wasteland Tower? Night Sorrow did not quite understand. It's the first tower in the Heaven Wasteland City. I don't know the details. Anyway, if you can get this opportunity, you should ask Pu Luo for the details. He definitely knows more than me, Lin Piaomiao said. After chatting with Lin Piaomiao for a while, Night Sorrow entered the 8-Dragon Cauldron to practice his spear. If a cultivator wanted to achieve something, talent, hard work, and time were all inseparable. Night Sorrow wanted to cultivate the Grand Elder's Mixed Yuan spear art. First, he had to cultivate the basic spear art to the Mixed Yuan Heavenly Realm before he was qualified to proceed to the next step. Night Sorrow went to cultivate while Pu Luo and the others continued to perfect the information and collect information on the scums. Rue Si divided the scums into different levels. One was to kill, and the other was to educate. Fentian would come to Night Moon Villa every day. He had the Divine Capital City Guards under his command, so naturally he had scouts and intelligence personnel. Therefore, it was not a problem for him to help Rue Si organize the information. What made him puzzled was that he had not seen Night Sorrow. After asking, he found out that Night Sorrow had already started cultivating. Fentian had King Yowu's spear art book. If possible, he did not mind communicating with Night Sorrow. It was not a problem for him to give some advice to Night Sorrow. However, he could not see Night Sorrow at the moment. As for the inheritance sword art of the unparalleled Sword Emperor, Yan Wushuang, Fentian was looking forward to it. However, he did not force it. He also understood that without King Yowu, Night Sorrow would not tell him anything. Night Sorrow had more than one doppelganger cultivating inside the 8-Dragon Cauldron. His doppelganger in 9-Domain World had also begun cultivating his spear techniques. Even the Clear Sky Pagoda's secondary body, which was originally in Sky City, had been sent to the vicinity of the Heaven Sealing Temple for the sake of accelerating time. The Medicine Valley had been affected recently because the divine artifact, the 8-Dragon Cauldron, had undergone some changes. This was the strongest change the 8-Dragon Cauldron had undergone in recent years. The light completely enveloped Danding Cliff. Danding Cliff was no longer the Danding Cliff of the past. Under the influence of the 8-Dragon Cauldron, Danding Cliff continued to rise. Now, its peak was in the clouds. In the past, venerables were not allowed to climb Pill Tripod Cliff as they would be directly suppressed by the 8-Dragon Tripod. Following the evolution of the 8-Dragon Tripod, the rules had changed. Saints, Saint Kings, and even the king could cultivate at Danding Cliff, but they could not climb to the top of Danding Cliff and get close to the region where the 8-Dragon Cauldron was. Everyone could cultivate by relying on the pressure. This was the power of an emperor weapon. The Medicine Valley was the #1 sect in the 9 Domains world, and the 8-Dragon Cauldron was a legend. Some people said that the 8-Dragon Cauldron would kill anyone who dared to come to the Medicine Valley with killing intent, even the king. Nangong Dai, Ning Cheng, and Su Feng stood at the bottom of Danding Cliff and looked up at Danding Peak. Is this still the 8-Dragon Cauldron of the past? Nangong Dai's eyes were a little confused and puzzled. She was ranked first in the batch of 13 people who had entered the sect, but she had not seen Night Sorrow for many years. Eldest senior sister, Grand Exalted Knight, has become an emperor. He is an armorer himself, so naturally his protective treasures would continue to evolve. The 8-Dragon Cauldron of the past was only a spirit artifact. Treasures of this level are everywhere in the 9 Domains world. The only difference is that the 8-Dragon Cauldron is in Grand Exalted Knight's hands, Ning Cheng said. Second Ning, what is he doing now? Is he still working hard on his cultivation? Nangong Dai turned to look at Ning Cheng. Back then, Ning Cheng was ranked second. Although we can't see his hard work, we can imagine it. Lin Jingyi came to Danding Cliff. She was a frequent visitor there and spent half a year cultivating there. She could even be said to be the strongest person in the Medicine Valley of the 9 Domains world. Uncle Master, didn't you go to the Celestial Realm to see how Grand Exalted Knight is doing? Su Feng asked. Is there a need to go? I reckon he is already famous in the Celestial Realm. We don't understand his world. Lin Jingyi shook her head. Dai, Ning Cheng, don't doubt his hard work. The 9 Domains world is where it is today because of his hard work and struggle. Gong Xian appeared, along with Huanan and the others. The evolution of the 8-dragon cauldron had caused a commotion in the Medicine Valley, so everyone who had been in seclusion came out. "Master, if you have time, take us to see Grand Exalted Knight. Doesn't he have a clone in the 9 Domains world?" Nangong Dai looked at her master, Huanan. "It's not just us. Even the Yi family doesn't see him much. He spends most of his time in seclusion. Perhaps he will only stop when he is invincible," Huanan said. "Isn't Grand Exalted Knight already invincible? Why is he working so hard?" Su Feng didn't understand. "You know nothing. You know about the Chaos Realm, but what about the Celestial Realm? There are many emperors and emperors. Without strength, how can the Chaos Realm and the 9 Domains world be stable?" Shi Tianlin scolded. Su Feng didn't dare to say anything. He was an elder of the Taishan Peak in the Medicine Valley, but the 13 people from the Taishan Peak in the Medicine Valley were still alive. Every one of them could scold him at will. "Eldest senior brother, more and more people from other worlds in the Chaos Realm are coming to the 9 Domains world to develop. Many people want to enter the Medicine Valley. Do we accept them?" Chu Lingxiao, who had rushed over and stood for a while, asked. At present, he was more in charge of the Medicine Valley's affairs. "We have to keep up with the situation. 13 is the domain lord of the 9 Domains world. The Medicine Valley can't exclude him. However, there are too many people who want to enter the sect every year. In the future, the disciple recruitment ceremony will be extended to once every 10 years. In addition, the 8-dragon cauldron is getting stronger and can help more people cultivate. We will open up the qualifications and double the quota for the Saint Hall." Gong Xian made some decisions. "Eldest senior brother, let's go to the city in the sky. 13 might be there." "I miss him," Shi Tianlin said. "Then let's go and take a look." Gong Xian nodded with a smile. This was what he was most gratified about. No matter how much time had passed, the relationship between his 12 junior brothers and sisters remained the same. When they arrived at the city in the sky, they naturally couldn't see Night Sorrow. At this time, Night Sorrow was working hard to cultivate his spear technique. Time passed, and in the blink of an eye, 2 years had passed. Other than the brick-throwing operation, Night Sorrow had been cultivating his spear technique. The mixed-element spear technique had gradually taken shape. In the space treasure, the power of his spear technique was average. However, when he displayed it in the real world, even the basic spear technique could drive the laws of heaven and earth, the will of heaven and earth, and the momentum of heaven and earth. Night Sorrow's original body was still meditating. This was already the 3rd year of meditation. Night Sorrow felt that his original body was about to wake up, but he couldn't predict what realm he would be in when he woke up. When Night Sorrow put away his spear, the great Demon King came to Night Sorrow's side. "Night Sorrow, do you have any good wine? Prepare a jar. If I don't die, you have to celebrate for me." "You." Night Sorrow's eyes were full of shock. Chapter 1773. Have you decided? Night Sorrow asked the great Demon King. "I've decided. If I want to be lawless, if I want to have a complete self, if I want to do what I want without others telling me what to do, then the heavenly tribulation must be triggered." The great Demon King's eyes were filled with determination. "Then I'll be waiting to celebrate with you." Night Sorrow took out a few jars of wine and placed them on the table in front of him. "I'm also waiting to celebrate with you." Lin Piaomiao appeared as well. "All right, I'll feel the way first. Then I'll tell you what I feel," the great Demon King said to Lin Piaomiao. As a cultivator on the God-Demon list, the big Demon King admired Lin Piaomiao. It wasn't easy for a woman to reach such heights. Pu Luo and the others had arrived, and so had Fen Tian. "Since you're all here, just you wait. Fen Tian, you can be considered the host. Prepare a banquet." After the great Demon King finished speaking, he left. His true body was going through tribulation, so his clone could not be disturbed. It was most suitable for him to meditate inside a spatial magic treasure. That bastard is too competitive. After this heavenly tribulation, none of the human elders will waste their breath on him again. Pu Luo said. He and the great demon king had never been friends before, but they had fought together. He admired the great demon king very much. You didn't say anything to him? Reese looked at Pu Luo. Most new G chapter F super P equals? Shut up, who am I talking nonsense with? It's true that I'm the law-enforcing elder, but what have I ever done? If you have the time, why don't you take a nap and do something else? Do your own thing and don't ask about other people's rights and wrongs. That's my principle. Of course, smashing bricks now is not bad. Pu Luo glared at Reese. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao and grabbed her hand. He knew that Lin Piaomiao was feeling emotional right now because she missed him too. If there was no news, everyone would just wait because the tribulation wasn't something that could be done in a short period of time. No news was the best news. If the great demon king didn't come out, no one would know what was going on. 1 day, 2 days, half a month passed. Everyone was extremely worried. On the 18th day, the great demon king finally appeared. His condition wasn't very good, but his eyes were full of vigor. Congratulations! Night Sorrow and the others stood up. Pu Luo, who is that person you mentioned the other day? That's right, that Wu Dong Tian is awesome. He passed 5 heavenly tribulations in one go, but I, the great demon king, passed 6 heavenly tribulations in one go today. Originally, I could still continue, but I don't think it's necessary to risk my life. If I don't improve when there's room for improvement, then I'm a fool. The great demon king laughed loudly. Are you crazy? Pu Luo cursed because no one had ever done such a thing before. Wu Dong Tian was the only one who had died. Don't talk about anything else. Fin Tian, what kind of banquet is this? Can this be eaten? The great demon king pointed at the table in front of them. You prepared it 3 days after you went into seclusion. Today is the 18th day. Have you ever seen a banquet that can last for half a month? Fin Tian said somewhat angrily. That's true. It's not your fault. Hurry up and change. The great demon king found a seat and sat down. Night Sorrow smiled and called for the servants to go to the banquet. He opened a jar of wine. Night Sorrow, the Ash God Stone is really good stuff. I'm indebted to you this time, so I owe you a favor. Within 100 years, I'll definitely reach the Emperor Tribulation. The great demon king said to Night Sorrow. You're crazy. Yuju said. If you don't go crazy, you won't live. If you live, you have to live with vigor. The great demon king punched the air. Everyone was happy for the great demon king. They had been friends for a few years. Commander Lin, don't be like this guy. He's crazy, but you're not. Pu Luo looked at Lin Piaomiao and said, Actually, I don't think there's a problem with Commander Lin. Because of your foundation, whether it's void or destruction, it suppresses other elements. I suggest you give it a try, but don't force it. The 4th and 5th tribulations aren't difficult, but the 6th tribulations are terrifying. That's why I didn't touch the 7th tribulations. The great demon king said to Lin Piaomiao, Thank you for your advice. I'm really happy for you. Lin Piaomiao poured a cup of wine for the great demon king. Everyone was happy. They drank for the whole night before the banquet ended. Night Sorrow continued to practice his spear every day. His mixed-element spear art had a solid foundation. When he waved his blood-chilling evil-slaying spear, he could move the will of heaven and earth. On this day, Night Sorrow was called over by Pu Luo to discuss the plan. However, Night Sorrow wasn't too happy to see the great demon king. Just as Night Sorrow was about to ask, Lu Qi came. The great demon king turned his head to the side. What's wrong? Your main body is hiding, but your doppelganger isn't going to see anyone? Lu Qi smiled and sat down. Elder 7, what happened? Night Sorrow asked. He went to fight with Elder Yu Kuan. Won't it be over if he won? He just had to fight to the death. Then, the Grand Elder yelled at him. Lu Qi said with a smile. He made a mistake in his battle strategy last time. I already said no, but he used his identity as the Elder. What happened in the end? If it weren't for Pu Luo's timely help, Commander Lin and I would have been dead. Ask Commander Lin if it's true? Just say that it was a mistake and it's over? Who will take responsibility for the deaths of my subordinates? The great demon king slammed the table and roared. This was a mistake in his battle strategy. He didn't do it on purpose. You didn't mention it for so many years. So you've been holding it in all this time? Lu Qi said to the great demon king. That's right. My subordinates can't die in vain. The main culprit is the Demon Wing clan, and the second is that old bastard Yukuan. This time, the Grand Elder protected him. Otherwise, I would have killed him. And that heaven's fate. He abandoned me and Commander Lin last time. I'll kill him too. The great demon king cursed. Hearing the great demon king's curses, Night Sorrow had a rough idea of what had happened. The great demon king must have been tricked during a war. He hadn't acted up all these years, but now he acted up. However, it seemed like he didn't succeed. Great demon king, I promise to give you an explanation. However, I need time. Is that okay? Don't say anything about leaving Tianhuang City? Lu Qi asked the great demon king. Great demon king, the 7 sect elders have already said so. Please calm down. No matter what others do, the Grand Elder and the 7 sect elders have always worked hard for the human race. We have to give them face. Pu Luo persuaded the great demon king. All right, since the 7 sect elders have said so, I won't leave Tianhuang City. The great demon king turned his head and said. Lu Qi chuckled. You didn't even say anything about transcending the Emperor tribulation. If you didn't go and slash people, no one would know. Let me congratulate you. It's just passing the 6 heavenly tribulations. It's no big deal. The great demon king sat up straight. Chapter 1774. You have the right to show off. You do have the right. When I get back, I'll leave a good mark on the ancestral records for you. Lu Qi said. Thank you. The great demon king clasped his fists at Lu Qi, but he turned his head to the other side. In Lu Qi's words, he did have the right to show off. After Lu Qi left, everyone sat together. The great demon king told everyone in detail what had happened. After transcending the tribulation, the great devil king stabilized his cultivation base and returned to Heavenly Desolation City. Back in Heavenly Desolation City, he killed his way to Heavenly Desolation Elder Yukuan's residence and started fighting in the tower. Later on, when he had injured Yukuan and was about to kill him, the great elder appeared and stopped him. Lin Piamiao, why aren't you saying anything? I wasn't the only one who was scammed back then, right? The great demon king looked at Lin Piamiao. I thought you were the first to take care of heaven's fate. But you were the first to take care of Yukuan as well. What should I say? Lin Piamiao said. You remember it too? The great demon king looked at Lin Piamiao in surprise. Of course, back then, my Misty Dynasty lost half an army. Lin Piamiao nodded. Great demon king, you can do it. Yukuan's strength is only lower than the 7th elder. If you can kill him, no one will dare to mess with you in the future. Pu Luo said. Great demon king, why didn't you say we were going to take care of Yukuan when we were at Tianhuang City? Night Sorrow asked, puzzled. Didn't you hear what Pu Luo said? That guy's strength is only lower than the Grand Elder and the 7th Elder. He's not someone that Trashly Zongyuan can compare to. If we were to take care of him, there's no chance of success. The great demon king said. But that's a good thing. You can only prove your strength with a battle. If you follow the Grand Elder, no one will gossip. Pu Luo said. Pu Luo, you know a lot of things. Why would you ask me to follow the Grand Elder? The great demon king asked. Because the Grand Elder and the 7 patriarchs are going to continue to break through the Emperor's tribulation, they need to make some arrangements. You and Commander Lin have the best potential and qualifications. You're a man, so you can take on more responsibilities. That's why you should follow the Grand Elder. This is also the City Lord's intention, said Pu Luo. The great demon king understood because the Grand Elder and the 7 elders were preparing for the unexpected. After chatting for a while, everyone set off to continue their trip. After smashing the black brick once, Night Sorrow entered the 8-dragon cauldron and continued to cultivate his spear arts. At this time, he was fusing the profound meaning of his previous spear arts into his heart spear arts. Every move he made was an absolute art. At this moment, a glass pagoda appeared beside Night Sorrow's 8-dragon cauldron. That was Lin Piaomiao's spatial treasure. Asterisk is asterisk. After cultivating for a few days, Night Sorrow saw the glass pagoda when he came out of seclusion. Instantly, his eyes were filled with shock and worry. He understood what was going on. Pu Luo and the others were also drinking tea and waiting in the loft where he was resting. How long has this been here? Night Sorrow pointed at the glass pagoda. Half a month. Pu Luo could see the worry in Night Sorrow's eyes. This situation was because Lin Piaomiao's doppelganger had entered the spatial treasure while the original body went through the tribulation. The doppelganger couldn't be affected. As for the safety of the doppelganger, Lin Piaomiao trusted this small group of people just like the great demon king. Half a month? Why is it so long? Night Sorrow was a little anxious because the great demon king had only been here for half a month. This woman must be crazily trying to break through. I think the 6th tribulation should be fine. But the 7th tribulation shouldn't be a problem. If she encounters the 7th tribulation, she'll be in danger, said the great demon king. After waiting for another 2 days, Lin Piaomiao appeared. However, she wasn't as tired as the great demon king. Your condition is not bad. The great demon king sized up Lin Piaomiao and said, after the tribulation, my condition isn't as good as yours. But I've recovered for close to a month in the time acceleration treasure. Lin Piaomiao smiled. 6th tribulation as well? Pu Luo asked. Lin Piaomiao nodded. After the 6th tribulation, she was in a bad condition. She had a feeling that she wouldn't be able to pass the 7th tribulation. Hence she stopped. You guys are not giving the other people on the God and Demon leaderboard a chance to make a comeback. You guys are suppressing them. Pu Luo said. Great Demon King, after the tribulation, my condition isn't as good as yours. The number 1 spot on the God and Demon leaderboard is yours. Lin Piaomiao said. What do you mean by that? If it was in the past, I would have challenged you to a battle to see who's number 1. But now, can I? No matter what, if I want to try, they'll probably fall out with me. Forget it. The great Demon King said. Sister Xian, have you forgotten? You promised me. Night Sorrow looked at Lin Piaomiao. There was dissatisfaction in his tone, but his eyes were filled with joy. I hope that after I succeed, I'll feel at ease. Then we can talk about our matters. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow apologetically. What's the matter between you two? Yu Zhu asked with a smile. Night Sorrow said he wants to marry me. Lin Piaomiao looked at Night Sorrow and repeated Night Sorrow's words. What are you talking about? Are you talking about him marrying you? That's not up to you. You have to marry him. Yu Zhu looked at Lin Piaomiao with a smile. She wanted to see how Lin Piaomiao would respond. Why not? Lin Piaomiao asked back. Just as everyone was waiting for Night Sorrow to express his opinion, the aura on Night Sorrow's body changed. The gray energy around him rumbled. Then, it changed to purple energy. Then it changed to black energy. Withdraw. Night Sorrow said softly. Following Night Sorrow's words, the leakless true body activated. His aura stabilized. 3-star Emperor. Night Sorrow's space-time attribute had entered the level of a 3-star Emperor. He hadn't even entered the level of a new 3-star Emperor. His control of the momentum of heaven and earth was at 36%. He had reached the middle stage of a 3-star Emperor. His void attribute was at 27%. He had reached the late stage of a 2-star Emperor. The destruction attribute was the fastest to cultivate. Now it was at 25%. He was at the middle stage of a 2-star Emperor. The leakless true body activated. All of Night Sorrow's aura was absorbed into his body. Night Sorrow, you're too fast. It's only been 2 years and you've already improved. Pu Luo looked at Night Sorrow and said, they're all undergoing their tribulations. I've only improved by a small step. Night Sorrow said with a smile. He was quite satisfied with his improvement. Sister Xian, my main body is stabilizing his realm. When my main body comes out, I'll go and ask for your hand in marriage. Night Sorrow said. There's no rush. You have to stabilize your realm first. Lin Piaomiao was very happy. Not only did she have new achievements, but Night Sorrow's improvement was also worth celebrating. Night Sorrow, you have to hurry. In less than 3 years, the competition for the number 1 vanguard of the 100 Race Alliance will begin. That's a great opportunity. 2 years ago, you could fight against an emperor. If you improve a little more, you'll have a great chance of becoming the number 1 vanguard. Pu Luo said. Pu Luo, can you tell me what kind of opportunity it is? Night Sorrow looked at Pu Luo and asked. He had wanted to ask Pu Luo this question for a long time. He wanted to know what it was like to enter the Heaven Wasteland Tower and what benefits there were. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.